Why can't you? From Universal Studios Hollywood.
What you eating?
This is
Give me some of that. What's up, y'all? It's Mikey Famine here, kicking things off on Taco Tuesday on the Bin Podcast Network. Welcome to the headliners. I am Tim and Mikey Fused. We did the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance yesterday, and Tim didn't make it. He was like a large growth out of my ribs, and I just, toenail clipper, just got him out of there. Russell Cannon in the chat. Air horns for Russell. Good morning. What up, y'all? Tim is... Do I want to be honest? I don't know. I don't know if I want to be honest. Do I? Do I? Probably not. Tim will be here later. He's doing something. SG, what up? If you are new around here, please, by all means, hit that subscribe button. I didn't block it, so you don't have to subscribe to chat, but do say hello. Do say hello. We would appreciate that over here. We have a lot of stuff to talk about per usual. I don't know if you guys were here yesterday, but you saw Trump's press conference after his declaration of war on black people. I'm not sure what to call it, but that rambling mess. So we'll probably grab a clip or two out of that. What else we got going? I got some Gen Z news, more AI slop, a Good Samaritan, comedy. Who doesn't like that? Another racist guy planning to attack a lot of people. And then I got a last final thing, if we have time, about private equity, which, if you guys are familiar, hey, Elle, hey, Gina. I don't fuck with AI. I don't fuck with AI, onions, and private equity. Those are my top 3 villains right now. AI, private equity, and onions. Because they're terrible and no one likes them and they should just go away. They're way too strong. They stink really, really bad. And they have to go away. I have to go away now. I'm trying to make space so I wouldn't knock my controller onto the floor. My very adorable, it's almost like a little kid's controller because it's very, very blue. Tim got this for me for my birthday last year or Christmas or something like that. But it showed up at the house. I was like, oh, thank you, Tim, because I did definitely just drop the last one onto the hardwood floor, smashing the right or left bumper in. So I was freaking running around, couldn't throw stun grenades. It was a problem. It was a problem. But things got solved. Things happened. We made it go away. And I just dropped the one that Tim just got me to replace the other one I dropped. So there's that. Oh my God. So this morning I had last night, let me back up. Let me start last night. Last night I had a little bit of coffee because I had some laundry and shit to do. Because little kids require a lot of laundry. And there's 2 adults that live here also. We also wear clothes every day. And I made the coffee and I sat it down on my little cooler here, which sits by me for my footrest. And would you believe, when I brought Stinky Mama down here this morning, I'm getting her breakfast together. She done snuck in here. She mixing paint with my coffee from last night. She comes out of my office. I'm like, hey, what are you doing in there? And she's just like, and then I look at her and she's like holding her arm out like this. I'm like, what did you do to your arm? It's wet. She done had her whole arm in the coffee. splashing. It's coffee all over the floor. I'm over here Googling, can dogs have coffee? Like, that's always the worst. The panic Google of can a dog or cat have something? Because at that point, it is too late. And it's like, how quick do I need to get them to the vet? Like, what type of poison control situation are we in? Zero was asleep. He didn't care. But, yeah, that was my morning. Little girl was in there. Her whole sleeve up to the elbow was soaked. This wasn't even a full cup of coffee. Where's the coffee cup? Do I have a coffee cup over here? Here's a coffee cup. So here, the coffee. Oh, check out Nim Wraps, by the way. The coffee was only up to here. She got her whole arm wet from this much coffee. I don't know. Scientists and theologians alike will debate the physics of how that girl got her entire shirt ruined before we started. This is before we even started the day. She hasn't even had first baba yet. We haven't changed. We haven't done anything. She just automatically, let's make a mess. Let's make a mess. What? You know, I'm glad Tim's not here. Now I can actually get into the chat and read up in here. Those are going for a death trip to the Titanic, aren't they? Yeah. I like how you guys all like each other. Sometimes people don't like each other in the chat. Sometimes they're very mean. Well, since Tim's not here, I'm going to do something that's a little less Tim-centric.
Hey, so
shout outs to this creator. Oh, that is. Ooh, okay, I'm going to have to move up. What is this? Oh, boy. All right, let me. How do I make it so that I'm not so squishy? There we go. That's not better. I don't like that either. Aha! Oh, wait. Now I'm on the wrong side. Wait. Okay. Now I'm on the right side. Okay. So as foretold, I have a little one. She's 2. And she does actually enjoy Miss Rachel. So let's hear.
New fear unlocked. Just unlocked a new fear about AI as I'm sitting here with my kid because my wife left me for the day. She left me for the day. She'll be
It always starts with one day.
home tomorrow. She needed time to go hang out with friends. And I said, go. I have the baby.
That one friend, Jerry, that she says is totally not a threat. He's totally not a threat. I've known him. He's like a brother to me. Yeah. Yeah.
She left me for the day. She'll be home tomorrow. She needed time to go hang out with friends. And I said, go. I have the baby. But when you have the baby, that means the baby has you. And he grips your brain and he tires you out. And you do eventually what all parents do, which is you turn to a screen and you say, enjoy 5 minutes with the screen. In this case, my television, right? Babies can watch YouTube on television. That's fine. I put on the YouTube.
Hell no.
YouTube Kids. I figured this will be great. You know what happened when I opened up the YouTube Kids? I go and I open it up and I see a thing that I recognize from before. I see this thumbnail, which is an exact copy of this book, which I read to my kid all the time. Every parent of a toddler has these first 100 words books. I see this first 100 words, first 100 animals. I say, let's go. It's just going to be somebody reading this book, right? Wrong. The whole thing is AI. It's all AI. They've stolen literally the art from the fucking book, word for word, bar for bar, but the AI baby voice is mispronouncing shit while.
Oh, that's one of my biggest pet peeves too. Not only do I hate AI, but I hate it when people mispronounce things.
They're showing fake AI moving images to my kid who now believes they're real.
Facts.
And I wouldn't blame any parent for falling for this because it is almost exactly the same thing, but they used AI so that way they can't get caught on the fact that they've stolen these images directly.
So what do you call it when you steal someone's intellectual property? I think there's a name for that.
And you can tell because look how that isn't a word. There's actual words in the real original image, but those aren't real words. And then as you start to watch this thing and you get a little bit deeper into it, It shows you AI images of moving things. Like what?
Mobi.
That's not how you pronounce that.
Oh, plagiarism. Yeah, plagiarism is the name for that. And last time I checked, you can't make money off of plagiarized material unless it's AI, and then it's just a tool that uses and helps. It steals. This is stealing. Stealing. There it is. This side. Stealing. This creator, in quotes, is stealing.
That's not real. That's not. So if you're a parent now, you are stuck because you need to make sure that you understand and know where the information that is being put into your toddler's head is coming from. Because right now,
Mobi, Daddy. Mobi. What the fuck? Mobi. Mobi, Daddy. It's been Mobi.
you need to go to trusted sources. Like I trust Miss Rachel. I trust Sesame Street. But hey, here's a fun thing I noticed about that exact channel that I was just showing you. That same channel's ripping off Miss Rachel. This is her exact.
Not Miss Rachel. Now AI has gone too far. Damn it. Not even Miss Rachel is safe from this slop.
Book. I read this to my kid all the time. They ripped off her book too. And she's a trained childhood educator. And they're teaching kids how to speak wrong, which is her exact mission. I want you to think of all the possible ways to print.
All right. In the chat, try. I know this will be difficult because you guys are using words and letters and glyphs. Try to guess how this is pronounced. Try to guess. You guys keep talking about the weather. What is 30C? Now I need to know. All right, let me flip over. We'll do this live. Fuck it. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
All right, let's see. If you go to there it is, temperature. What do y'all say? 30C. Okay. 30. 86. Come on, y'all. That's not that bad. But y'all don't have air. So 86 with no air is crazy. 33. Oh, shit. Hold on. '91 is hot. That's a summer day. Milk. Milky. Milk. Oh. Let's see what it says.
Pronounce this word. Think of all the possible ways that Miss Rachel would pronounce this word right
Milk. Milk. I watched that yesterday.
here. You ready for it? I don't think you are.
Meek. Meek. Dada, meek. Meek for my Mobi. Mobi meek. This is why you can't trust anything. You can't trust it. Do not give this shit to your kids. Because if your kid comes up to my fucking, to get a job for me and she's talking about some, oh, I used to deliver meek on the weekend. No, you did not. You still do that because you're not getting a job here. You're going to keep your meek ass over there.
Millions of views of faceless AI channels making our kids stupider every single moment of the day and making money off of them. But meanwhile, I'll need to upload my ID if I want to hear Haley Williams songs because she curses during them. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I'm just crying over spilt meek.
Oh, crying over spilled meek. Did the AI think it was like another I? It was like M-I-I-K. It's like meek. That is a capital I in my little AI brain. Without this, I hate it. I hate all of it. I hate every part of it. Every single piece, every piece of I take it back. I don't hate every single part of it. There's one part of it I like, and that is when it's used for scientific applications. Like we just got the the new observatory down in Chile, the Vera C. Rubin telescope, the observatory. That is discovering things and cataloging and identifying things at a rate that is literally, I don't know, 1,000-fold over what we were able to do before. There is not a way that we're going to be able to by hand manually look through all of this stuff. Fine. We'll have to let the machines help us. I have no issues with that. If you want to write a script and have it find things that are going a certain velocity, radial velocity, if you want to give me all the class 1 supernovas, and you want to find all those and just get all those coordinates right away and not have to search, that's useful. That's a good practical application for this type of software, this method. As soon as you start putting other people's shit into your script, there was a problem. If your database is filled with other people's shit, anything that comes out of that is theft. Everything that comes out of that is waste, is bilge, is it's fluctus, it's waste. None of it's all DQ. You can't use any of that. So they come at me and they say, "Oh, well, the music out there, they're not going to be able to replace real music." That's not the point. The point is not to replace you. The point is, every time you make something going forward, just know they're going to steal it. And it doesn't have to sound exactly like you. Just close enough. It'll sound like generic pop music that's flavored with you. And you can't complain. So why would someone pay, let's say at $20, why would someone pay $20 for my vinyl if I do a show out live somewhere? Why would they pay that when they could just go on YouTube or go in their pocket? Hell, they might even be able to get a recording of me from a live show and say, "Hey, AI, make me a playlist of music that sounds like this." And the AI will say, "Okay, that's me. That's me that it's copying." And it's not like, "Oh, well, I picked up a guitar and after, 6 months, I was able to write song." No, that's 20 years of experience. That's 20 years of breakups and getting fired from jobs, happy things, the birth of kids. That's wrapped into one guitar player or lyricist or rapper or anything. It is not the notes that make music. Music for me is human speak. It is how we communicate on a basal primal level, whether it's drums or stringed instruments or a freaking bagpipe. No other animal gives a shit if we do that shit or not. They're not like, "Oh, well, the elephants aren't coming over like, hey, did you guys learn wind instruments yet?" No one's checking on us. No one's asking us to do any of this. This is all completely voluntary. And we do it because it makes us feel good. It makes our brains happy. We get to feel what someone else is feeling. Like an opera kid, it's funny, speaking of kids again. If you play classical music, like powerful operas or something like Carmen, if you play Carmen for like a kid or March of the Valkyries for a kid, they get emotional sometimes. They'll just start weeping. They have no idea what's happening. Their brain is being hijacked by human speak. They're being told deep, complex things without syntax. They are being emoted to, which is a different layer of communication than just talking or putting on some headphones. It's different. And that's why it's hard to define. It's hard to describe. But for the people who dedicate their lives to recreating those sensations in your brain without ever meeting you, to feed it to the slot machine, What happens when people can't speak human anymore? What happens if they don't know how to talk human anymore? What does that do for your morale? What about storytelling? That's another big part of our thing. That's a big part of our oral history that we had before written language. What if all the stories they just, they didn't make sense and they were lies, and then like the words didn't make sense? If we AI'd the stories of old, we wouldn't be the same people we are right now. So before you take a shortcut, remember, we are humans. We emote. We human speak. Do not give that away for anything. The meek shall inherit the earth. Cow juice. All right. Hold on. They're juicing cows just on the little orange thing. AI is remarkably stupid. It says a lot about the programmers, I guess. Yeah. Because again, these people are not like speech therapists. They're not like communicators. They're programmers. They're just trying to do as few lines of code as possible so they can sell their shit to somebody else and start on the next project. I'm guessing this is the star thing. Yeah. And the amount of energy they're using for it is insane. Not only is the fucking earth heating up so that the kids will have no fucking future, you're giving them AI slap Miss Rachel. You done took their kids' books and now you're just fucking like, it's crazy. Crazy. Well, I don't think you're blocked. I don't think you're blocked. I can see that. So I'm going to say no. Does seem so. Is why are we having trouble posting? You guys are having trouble posting? Does not. Oh, okay. Sorry. Never mind. I literally fell for it. So maybe YouTube is throwing a hissy fit. Oh, is YouTube mad that I'm making fun of their stupid cash cow of promoting a bunch of AI slop to children? Oh well. I don't think you guys haven't said anything inappropriate. Most everyone's talking about the weather. It's a bunch of numbers in there. Are they mad about numbers now? But yeah. There you go. Miss Rachel is not safe. No one is safe. So read to your kids. Use funny voices. I am a great Corduroy the Bear reader. I do the little girl voice. I do Corduroy's voice. I do many roles. I also do the security guard who's in the shop. I do the mom. I think that's it. But I do 4 voices in Corduroy, and it's fun. She likes it. She continually tries to rip the pages out of my hand to get past it. And I'm like, I'm still on the sentence. You got to wait till she ain't trying to hear all that. She's trying to get in there. But it's fun. It's fun to read to your kids. It's fun to do all the voices. And even if they don't understand what you're saying exactly, they think it's awesome. Trust
I don't
me.
understand what you're saying.
You know what, Tim? I was just talking about you. No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
Was it nice things?
No, I was ranting about AI.
Why?
Tim is here, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Bristol.
From
I have arrived. Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to the show. I'm Tim.
So, Tim, what I just showed everybody was this. Where pretty much this guy is giving his kid some screen time, sees this thumbnail, if you will, and then he's like, oh, cool. That's just like, check it out. Just like this book I have. Cool. It must be just somebody reading it. Oh, no. It's AI slop. AI slop. All of it's AI slop.
Oh, that looks horrifying.
And then they hijacked Miss Rachel. And they put her book on there too.
Oh, no.
Tim, how do you think they pronounce this?
Malk.
Okay, here we go.
To pronounce this word. Think of all the possible ways that Miss Rachel would pronounce this word right here. You ready for it? I don't think you are. Millions of views of faceless AI.
Meek.
Oh my God. Meek.
So yeah, that was our first story today. And now Tim is with us. We can begin improper.
Hi, I'm Tim.
That throbbing feeling every once in a while. Get that throbbing feeling.
The cringe. Okay. I have to say something very uncomfortable. I need everybody to ride with me on this. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up. We got to watch Slotkin. Oh my God, we got to watch Slotkin's little thing. Slotkin's town hall. We got to watch like the last 5 minutes of it because, whoo, buddy. I have to say something nice about something I don't want to say something nice about, but I must.
I love Tesla.
Uh-oh.
Tesla did something good. Now,
no,
before you say no, they didn't. They kind of did. I didn't say Elon did. I did not say that. I said the car did a good thing because a human did a very bad thing.
Without this, my eye and my face would be a part of a pavement by now.
Thanks to his helmet, Keihachi Ishikawa is bruised, but not broken.
Everything is made right here, made in Nanaimo.
The 78-year-old self-proclaimed e-bike inventor was cycling home Saturday on his bike with a trailer rig along the right side of Nanaimo's Departure Bay Road when he crossed to turn left.
And all of a sudden, 3 motorcycles came behind me. Guy yelled at me, "Get off the F road," and then pushed me so hard.
The senior, who's been riding e-bikes for a quarter century, says he lost his balance and crashed.
It's happened
So, first off, this man's workshop is a workshop of dreams. He has multiple bikes, all upside down in various states of put together. It's like he's got a C-3PO made out of bikes back there or something. Like, I like his workshop. I like his vibe. I kind of love Japanese people by default. But still, this guy is just doing his own thing. I watched another clip of news coverage. He has a trailer that he pulls behind his homemade e-bike. It rides on railroad tracks. It's the exact width of a railroad track. So he can put his little trolley on the railroad, skip all the fucking traffic on this abandoned railroad line. And then he has to get on the road for a little bit to get into like his subdivision or whatever. That's when dickhead on the fucking motorcycle comes up behind him and fucking show, like, I don't even get like how you even like, why would you even drive away at that point? You saw you pushed him and you saw him eat shit and you fucking popped a wheelie and said fuck you, like crazy shit.
What does this have to do with Tesla?
Oh, you'll see.
Just look kind of defeated and upset.
Ishikawa thankful for the witness who stopped to help and posted dash cam video online.
The
Tesla did a good thing. The Tesla records everything all the time. That's how we have this footage.
The Tesla is the stopped car.
Yes. So if this Tesla didn't have all those cameras going, that guy would have just drove off and we would have never found him.
biker came up and pushed the guy over, and he lost control and face planted into the sidewalk.
It was pretty heart-wrenching to think somebody would do that to somebody.
It was scary, right, to see someone just doing malicious behavior over nothing in my neighborhood.
The police were able to identify the owner of the motorcycle, and he actually spoke to the police. He called in to the detachment on August 3rd because he had seen the video.
Marcel Trudeau,
Look at him acting like he cleaning. I ain't never seen nobody pretend to clean like this.
Who used to run Abby's corner store, confirms he was riding with his kids at the time.
Can't talk to you. It's like fucking what's that crime? What is that show called? The Dun Dun.
Oh, Law and Order.
Law and Order. It's like Law and Order. Whenever they're talking to a guy, he's like stacking boxes. And like he just can't stop stacking the box to fucking talk to the cops because your fucking girlfriend's murdered, but he has to keep moving the boxes in the middle of his speech.
I've worked in both grocery stores and gas stations. I've never cleaned the tops of cans.
But this guy's like, oh, just shining up the old can of green beans. That's definitely gonna sell today. I can feel it in my bones, Annie. I feel it in my bones. Yeah, Elle's got it. Quick, look busy.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. I like
He's
how they
the real
hit
killer.
And then they hit all the labels.
His corner store confirms he was riding with his kids at the time.
So you're riding with your fucking children and you push another cyclist off the road with your children.
It's teaching good values.
Teach them young, I guess. I might as well give them some AI slap when you're done fucking teaching them how to abuse people.
An interview, but claims the cyclist shot right in front of him and cut him off, causing him to slam his brakes.
Bro, does it look like that motherfucker was doing anything quickly on a fucking rickety ass wooden electric motor, like electric, but he was not quickly doing anything.
He says he put his hand up and touched the cyclist to avoid a collision. Trudeau also.
Oh, you mean when you went over into his lane when you had like, I don't know, 15 feet on the right side of you?
Claims he was not aware the man fell until he saw the video on social media.
It's just a lie, out lie. He tried to get away from what he did. That's inexcusable behavior.
RCMP are investigating and no charges have been laid.
Come on, man. It's on video. He already said he did it.
Yeah.
What are we waiting on?
The former skydiver says he escaped with only minor injuries.
See, and he skydived? Bro, a ninja. Yeah, bike ninja.
Including a stiff neck.
I'm not sure how I did it. I protect my own body. I seen a video and it's a bad crash.
Kristen Robinson, Global News.
Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
I got one for you, Mikey. Let me just let's see if I can do this correctly. All the way.
Person it says, Pusher is a liar. Can I push him off of something in return? You're going to do it wrong. You need to have yours up already.
Oh.
And then add.
I see.
Yep, did it wrong.
God damn it. Remove.
Yep.
The worst. There we go.
It's like the buttons are like moving around on Tim. They're not moving. They're the same buttons as last week.
No, we'll do it live. Fuck it.
Hey, guess what? While we were talking about Trump's thing yesterday, he also did this.
Business correspondent Christine Romans, NBC News White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor, and Jared Bernstein, former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors in the Biden administration. Great to see you all. So, Christine, what more can you tell us about the president's new pick for BLS?
Had contributed to the Project 2025, which was, of course, that roadmap for really remaking the federal government. Someone who's a chief economist at the Heritage Foundation, which is a very conservative think tank. This is someone clearly with a political bent in economics, proudly, apparently, if you look at some of these clips. And this is an agency, of course, that is about non-biased.
So the vampire-looking motherfucker behind Trump over there is the new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
With a pocket watch? You a villain.
Pocket watch.
You a villain.
He looks like a villain. He looks like a Bond villain.
He looked like Loveless. Loveless with legs.
Unbiased, important information that everyone uses, sort of kind of the important baseline data that people use to make decisions in government and on Wall Street. So a very political pick for what is traditionally a non-political agency.
That's right. And has always been sort of a gold standard when it comes to government economic data.
And there are collection issues. There's no question about that. There's been concerns about people not answering some of their surveys. You know, they track things like jobs and wages and prices, even getting people out there to actually look at the prices in grocery stores. They check like 90,000 prices every month.
Man, I want that job. Just going to grocery stores and recording the price of things.
You already do that.
Yeah, but how do I get that job?
You do it. You just don't get paid for it.
So EJ Antony is his name. He's the chief economist at the Heritage Foundation. Contributed to Project 2025, which the Democrats forgot to read. He has a PhD in economics.
I'm not reading that whole thing.
From Northern Illinois University. Hey, he's got a degree in your area.
Northern Illinois is 30 miles from the border. I dare say that's a Wisconsin problem.
And once again, Trump has hired someone to a department who hates that department.
I mean, it's not like he put RFK in charge of health or Linda McMahon in charge of schools or a guy who road rules from fucking transportation,
or a dude who hated taxes, or a dude who hated the IRS in charge of taxes and then promptly fired him. I found out why that guy got fired.
Oh, from his letting everybody go home early?
Yeah, no, he got fired. Yeah, it's that guy. Was it
Billy Long?
Billy Long. He got fired because when the Justice Department requested taxpayer data, he didn't give them all the data they requested.
So he's underreporting how much tax revenue we're taking in?
No, the Justice Department wanted taxpayer data so they could find, quote, illegal immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't give them like the most sensitive data that they requested. He just gave them like personally identifiable information, but not like their specific tax information. And Trump was like, that's not good enough. You're fired.
He's not even a CPA.
No,
he has no experience in finance. And the only thing I could find about him in finance for fucking Billy Long is he kept telling people that you don't have to pay your full tax amount. I can get you out of it. And several people got audited from that, and several people lost hundreds of thousands of dollars listening to his dumbass. He's a tax grifter.
He ran a tax scam.
Yeah, he just promises people he can cut their taxes in half, and then he just tells them not to pay half of it.
Well, he was also the Republican congressman who, before he was named to the IRS as their head, said that there shouldn't be an IRS and that we should get rid of the IRS and do a VAT tax and have what was it, like a Department of External Revenue to collect the fucking tariffs and just a trade commission to collect the VAT tax.
But the thing is, his elected position, there's a gap between that and him being appointed. He's just been hanging out at Mar-a-Lago and shit, going to these conferences, promising people that he can save them all. He is the same. He's a snake oil salesman, like a la fucking Pete's Dragon. When the dudes were just out there, just like he is that guy. He is just straight up grift. So it's hilarious that he couldn't even fucking, he doesn't know how to do what you're asking, Trump, because he actually doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, instead of being the commissioner of the IRS, Trump is making him the ambassador to somewhere. Would you like to guess where he's going to be ambassador of?
Probably somewhere random like Iceland.
Oh, that's exactly the place.
I knew already.
Oh,
I played it up.
Trump is going to exile him to Iceland.
I want to go to Iceland. They have fucking, dude, I was watching some fucking drone footage from Iceland with the waterfalls and the volcanoes. Bruh, it's like fucking Middle Earth times 2.
Yeah. It's nice over there.
It's very cool. I don't want to live on a volcano though.
No.
I don't trust the earth.
I don't want to be somewhere that's actively volcanic. That's not
Like, I'm trying to get to Yellowstone as soon as possible so I can get the fuck out of the blast radius. I mean, I'll starve to death from the cloud of ash that puts us all underground like mole people.
Anyway, back to this chuckle fuck.
How much does it cost for fascism? How much do the taxpayers have to pay?
Mark my words, she's gonna run. Mark my words, she's gonna run.
That's how we get these CPI numbers, and they don't have all of those filled. And some economists are worried that actually the problem there.
Daily Blase, hit me up on WhatsApp. We'd like to have you on again, so I gotta schedule that with you.
Yeah, come on the show.
Yes.
Is not some unsubstantiated rigging of numbers, but the fact that budget cuts from this administration actually are undermining some of the work of the agency.
So, Yamiche, we saw the president's choice in that clip
you have
at the
to pay
top
them.
with former Trump advisor Steve Bannon, who has been pushing for Antony to get this role. Do we know what went into this decision?
Well, we know.
I know exactly what went into this decision before they even discuss it. Trump, hey, who can we put in this place? Because I fired the other guy. And fucking Stephen Miller was like, oh, I know a guy.
Oh my God. He looks like Stephen Miller's like alternate ego. Like this is what Stephen Miller wishes he looked like in the mirror every morning. He's like, fucking failure. He's like Homelandering it.
Did you know that Stephen Miller is younger than we are?
Yes.
Frightening.
Yeah.
Is that what pure evil does to somebody?
Hate makes you look ugly as shit, man. Hate makes you look ugly as shit. That's why I'm so beautiful. And I'm 38. What's up? I'm old as shit and I look good. Stephen Miller looks like a bag of rotting garbage.
The president really wanted someone that had the synergy with him, because the president himself has been a longtime critic of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The day that he fired the predecessor now to Mr. Antonio, or at least because he's of course been nominated his would-be predecessor. I was told by a White House official that the president had been really criticizing the agency since even back on the campaign trail, and was quickly said all of these different quotes by then candidate Trump, attacking the Bureau, attacking the work.
Come on, women, submit to me, women. Submit to me, women.
He looks like the AI generated image of a white supremacist.
Bring me white supremacist ugly. Oh, there we go.
He'd come, maybe he wouldn't even.
Statistics there. So this is in some ways the president picking someone that is very much in the same mindset as him when it comes to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The other thing to note here is that the president said on the day of the firing of the predecessor that this was really a decision because
he's really smart. He's got a pocket watch.
Who were loyal to him to be in that office. And he said, when asked specifically, why are you going to pick somebody with statistics and knowledge and data research? He says, I'm going to pick somebody who's going to be honest and also someone who essentially is a supporter of my work. The other thing to note is this follows a pattern for President Trump. This isn't the only agency that now might have someone at the helm who has actually criticized the agency. You think about the Health and Human Services and Secretary
Congratulations.
Kennedy. Think about the Education Secretary.
Congratulations, MSNBC. You officially caught up to January of the headliners featuring Mikey and Tim. Congratulations. You did it. You finally fucking started watching the show. I'm glad mainstream media has finally started fucking watching the only good fucking political analysis on the internet right now. You're welcome, mainstream media.
Mikey, that's because
not respecting the business.
They don't respect it. I ain't gonna say it no more. I need to put some Birdman on the soundboard.
FBI, there are leaders there who were very critical of the FBI and now are in leadership positions. So the president has often put people in places where they were critical. So it's going to be very.
Didn't I just say that? Haven't we been saying that since like the president's first term?
Like as soon as we saw what his ticket was and what his plan was, like before the inauguration, we were already making videos like, oh, that one's a fucking wrong and that one's crazy. That one's actually that one's on trial in this district, and they're like we told y'all.
Y'all just being numbnuts right now because you forget your own history.
Thank you, Michael Steele, and you're also welcome onto the show whenever you want to come on down. I see that you're doing a lot of shows from your office. You can come talk to your boy.
Interesting to see whether or not Mr. Anthony can actually get confirmed, and then what he does if he is in that job, because as Christine pointed out, this is supposed to be a non-political job, and I was told by multiple sources, and the president himself was essentially hinted at this, that he wanted someone with a political bent.
Yeah, someone who's going to tell him what he wants to hear. He basically said, Jared, a number of economists are already raising questions about Anthony's qualifications. Jason Furman, former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors under Obama, said, look, I don't normally.
He said, I don't think I've ever publicly criticized any presidential nominee before, but
big butt.
EJ Anthony is completely unqualified to be the Bureau of Labor Statistics commissioner. He is an extreme partisan and does not have any relevant experience. He would be a break from decades of nonpartisan technocrats.
Is it fake news, Tim, if I put in somebody stupid to give me the numbers?
Yeah.
He said, fuck fake news. I'll make
write it and we'll do it live.
I'll make fake facts.
He's just gonna.
Bureau of Labor Statistics says that there is 1,000% unemployment.
we are very. I know that like the 1984 references are usually hyperbolic.
Right.
However, we are very quickly barreling into like full-on 1984 territory, where all the departments of the government are meant to deceive you into believing that everything is great, everything is fine. You should love Big Brother. Like that's what's going to happen. Is like, oh, the job numbers are great.
Oh, everything's perfect, just like in North Korea. But on the outside, everyone's starving. There's a famine.
Yeah. Oh, our country is fantastic. Out there, they're having a terrible time.
They're not
struggling.
doing. Good thing I'm
really
here to take care. Good thing I'm here to take care of you guys.
Like, pick your fucking sci-fi dystopia at this point. Your political science sci-fi dystopia. We're fucking there, bro. Brave New World.
I pick Equilibrium.
Equilibrium. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Fucking 1984, Handmaid's Tale. Which kind of fascism do you want? Christo-fascism, or do you just want like straight up government fascism? Because we're doing one of those, or both.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't limit yourself, Tim. The day is young, and so are we.
Can you cry? You're making me cry. Life's hard enough as it is. You don't want to cry anymore.
We're gonna talk comedy. You know anything about comedy?
Nope.
All right. Well, wing it. Fake it till you make it. All right. Your favorite comedian? I got a clip of him, Howie Mandel. Tim loves Howie Mandel, by the way.
I don't particularly like Howie Mandel too much, but sure.
We're not so much here to listen to Mr. Bobby's World. Mark Maron has some bangers here. I'm not a big fan of Mark Maron. Is it?
Yeah, Mark Maron is hilarious.
I was not hip to game, but Brother Man gave me a fucking a full poo-poo platter right here.
I've been seeing like Jeselnik having an issue with people like Tony Hinchcliffe, who he's saying uses profanity or just shock value comedy. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, yo, that's Ali.
that is Ali if Ali didn't have the beard, right?
That's American Ali.
It's American Ali. Quick funny note on Tony Hinchcliffe. One, I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah,
he's not funny. And two, over was it last weekend? WWE had a pay-per-view SummerSlam in New Jersey, and Tony Hinchcliffe was set to headline like a late comedy show run by WWE. It sold so few tickets that it got fucking canceled.
Wap, wap. A lot of Puerto Ricans in the audience.
At this point, it's lazy and sloppy and hackneyed. You know, to be in a fucking club where, you know, I'm walking down the hall at the comedy club, at the Comedy Store, and, you know, in one room, someone's doing their bit about trans people, and then I get down the oh, and there's someone on stage going, well, I guess I got to do my bit about trans people. Like, no, you don't. You don't. It's hack now. I mean, you guys got the freedom you wanted. You can now say whatever you want. They're defeated. Their rights have been denied. The policies that you guys encouraged with your stupid material are now policy. And now, half the people under the umbrella of anti-woke, we've lost a tremendous amount of democratic-leaning ideas and movements. So whether they knew it or not, that's what they were spearheading. So now it's reality, and you want to still keep kicking them?
You want to still keep kicking them.
I don't know that
Oh, I'm Holly Mandel. I have to sit on. Let me sit on. Oh, I never found a fence I couldn't sit on. Like fucking.
Where's the RFK sound effect? That's what he needs.
Oh yeah, I got you. Hold on.
Got your data, dumbass.
Swing and a miss.
About what?
Much power.
Are you fucking out of your mind?
No.
Yo,
him up.
Two of the best comedians in the game right now are fucking Mark Maron and Bill Burr for shutting people up.
Oh, that comedians have had that much power.
Are you fucking out of your mind?
No, I'm being serious.
Joe Rogan. I'm not gonna.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You can't separate. Like, if the movement is like, we're being censored. No, you're not. You're not. There's no constitutional censorship issue with your free speech.
But my First Amendment says I can say whatever I want to say. And
and
people liberals are all sensitive doesn't mean that I can't just keep saying stuff. That's my First Amendment right.
You as a comedian, yes, you can say whatever you want to say. However, people have the right to not go to your shows.
No, they need to keep coming to my shows and stop being so liberal, woke mind virus, Trump derangement syndrome.
Here's how much comedians have it good, right? Here's how good they got it. You remember Louis C.K.? Fucking he got caught up in the Me Too stuff because he's a sexual predator. That dude is still fucking selling out places.
I thought you said Louis Black, and then I realized you said Louis C.K.
Louis C.K.
I was like,
Louis
Black?
Louis Black is basically retired at this point. He's at the end of. He's doing his last tour.
At the end of the road, and I can't. Yes,
but Louis C.K., who got rightfully quote canceled, like because he's a sexual predator, is out there fucking selling out comedy shows at big arenas, not like small places, not like clubs. He's going to he was recently at one of the casinos near me, sold out. So he didn't get canceled. He went away for a couple of years until the heat died down.
Yeah.
But now he's back.
Because the thing is, especially when it comes to subjective things like comedy, same thing with music, right? Like, they want that Kevin Hart level of accessibility to all these other pools and markets, but they don't want any of the responsibility and the seatbelts that come with it.
Right.
Like F1 drivers have to wear the suit. They have to wear the harness. They have to wear the helmet. They have the neck bubble thing. They have all this stuff to protect them, and it restricts what they can and cannot do, but it allows them to drive an F1.
Right.
They just want to get into the F1 car with a pair of bib overalls on and say, you're restricting my ability to drive. You're not in the right. This is not right. It doesn't work like that.
And the comedy scene is so weird. Like, you go to any open mic at any comedy club and you will hear the wildest shit said by comedians. They do not, because nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows who they are. So they can say whatever they want. Yeah. Yeah. And comedy is a free speech art form. However, when you have a platform and say you're a Joe Rogan type who believes he's still funny, and you allow people on your show, or you say things that are going to influence people, that's different than going to a comedy club with 20 people in it and just saying weird shit. You're not influencing those people. They barely care that you're there. But when you're one of the most popular podcasters ever,
right,
people are going to care.
You
People
can't have the bag and be grimy.
Yeah.
People don't want to give the bag to the grimy guy. And they're like, I should have it, but I'm white. And I said the R word really loud. Give it to me.
But Tony Hinchcliffe is a great example of that. The dude was a YouTube guy. He had that Kill Tony show where he made comedians do comedy for like 1 minute and decided whether or not they were funny, which is a ridiculous premise. It's very hard to be funny in 1 minute. It's incredibly hard.
Never seen him do that 1 minute challenge, but okay.
And then he goes out there and does stuff for Trump. Does that fucking comedy bit that he did at the Republican, or no, it wasn't even the RNC. It was just a rally they had at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. The Nazi rally.
Yeah. And then he wants to complain that nobody comes to see. Like, I've seen promos for his shows on my social media, and people underneath are like, I'm not seeing that fucking guy.
Yeah.
Fuck
Light him up. Yeah.
Yeah. The comment section are wild. Like, fuck, he's not funny. He's just he's a shock jock of a comedian. That's what he is.
He's a shit poster.
Yeah.
Muttley. Hey, Muttley.
What's up, Muttley?
He's a shit poster. And
So
they think shit posting is comedy now because a couple of big people started it off.
I have no idea why Howie Mandel is out there to fucking defending this guy.
Because Howie has never found a fence that didn't look like it needed sitting.
You say things, and in a democratic shit show of an environment, like Twitter or whatever, there's cultural pushback. And I'm not saying that it was pretty bad in terms of people getting canceled and stuff. And I agree that was an issue, but that's a specific issue. To frame it as some sort of free speech problem was a misdirect. It wasn't. It wasn't a free speech problem. It was that people were getting cultural pushback. That is not a constitutional issue. No one was being put in.
And the First Amendment just means that the government can't come up and say, hey, don't write that article about the government. That's not okay.
Right.
That is literally the only thing the First Amendment does. You're not protected from being canceled. You're not protected from being blackballed or being made fun of senselessly by us.
You're not protected from not being booked for shows because, the bookers think that you're too problematic. Yeah.
It's my venue, and I'm using my First Amendment to not hire your ass.
In jail for saying anything. That's a free speech issue.
Right. Not locked
but my
up for
problem
jokes.
is you're going to start talking about anti-woke, and that's going to be your point of view. That's going to be your ideological, grounding for what you do. Okay, that's fine. But why does it have to be the same four fucking things? It's like they talk about the same shit. And I don't know a better definition of hack. I mean, after a certain point, it's like, so what juice does the word retard really have? How much shit do you have to give trans people? What is your big problem with gay people? What's your big problem with women? It's like, what is this, the fucking 80s again? And it's so, to me, the problem is that
as a child of the 80s, that checks out.
Yeah. And I've seen comedians out there on open mics doing those types of jokes and not getting anything because nobody wants to hear it. I mean, granted, like Stamford, Connecticut, where I do a lot of open mics, is a more liberal place than most. But
they're trying that shit in Stanford. They're crazy.
Yeah. Like I've seen comedians get away with some pretty crazy shit. However, when you use the R word or when you start demeaning women and it's in like a very cruel way, like some of these comedians do, you're not going to get a good response because half the people that go to see comedy shows are women. So it's not going to work. You have to change.
The other Buzz says, guys, next you'll be saying Greg Gutfeld isn't funny as well.
Greg Gutfeld is a great example of a comedian choosing their audience and the audience still not caring half the time.
They can't even get out that motherfucker. They locked in that bitch and they still not
right.
They're like,
half of his jokes don't go off because they're not funny, and the ones that do go off, the audience is more reacting to the statement he's making than the fact that it's funny. Like they're reacting to his hate speech or him using certain words instead of the actual whatever comedy value there is in whatever he does. Like there's very few laughs that aren't forced in Gutfeld's show.
And the laughing that we always do is the fact that he can't take a simple joke and land it. He can't land the simplest light jab. Just walk up to the punching bag, and then take a step back. He somehow breaks his hip trying to do that. And it's like, oh, damn, dude, how did you fuck that up?
And so many of his jokes are meant to be cruel and hateful, or they're inside jokes against his fellow Fox News hosts. And it's like, those are like the comedy rules. Those are like the standard comedy rules that exist. It's like, don't do inside jokes. Don't do jokes just for the boys. Like, don't do jokes for other comedians because the audience isn't going to care. And don't be mean and spiteful just for the fuck of it. Like, there's no comedy value in that.
It's got to be funny.
Yeah.
What a radical notion. Your jokes should be funny.
And jokes.
And they should also technically qualify as jokes.
Okay, we don't use the word chink anymore. Well, maybe some of them do. You don't use the word oriental anymore. You don't use the word colored anymore. Is that, in a democratic world, people learn to treat other people with respect, communities, and live with it. So this pushback, I don't know how you frame it as anything other than.
But I think it's an outward vocalization of the time. I just went and saw Ricky.
Really?
An outward vocalization of the time.
Really?
What does that even mean?
What does that mean, Howie? What are you trying to convey here? What are you trying to convince us of?
Gervais at the Hollywood Bowl.
What a bore.
No, brilliant.
I do find Ricky Gervais boring. That is true.
All right, go ahead.
Fucking brilliant.
All right.
Fucking brilliant. And he talked about kind of like this on stage. I think this new show is called Mortality. And he talked about, what we are appalled at or what we think is stupid is all about the time. And this is what I'm talking about, our cultural shift. We're not shifting it, it's shifting. He goes like, listen, right now, everybody talks, the worst thing you can be is a racist. You can't, and it is right now. I mean, if that's probably the number one negative.
I don't think that's true. I think that maybe since he's written that show, the screw is turned. It doesn't seem to be the most negative thing at all. But we have a president who's a racist, and he's very popular.
He's not identified as one, though.
Well, how much digging do you have to do? Get me on a computer. I can do it in 2 clicks.
No, I know, but half the country doesn't agree with you.
So it's not the biggest problem, is it?
And see, this is the problem with that fucking fence sitting attitude. Sometimes you have to be the switch is either on or the switch is off. Either you are telling shit you're saying shit that's funny or you're not. Either it's a joke or it's not. There are some hard cuts there. So to just say that everything is everything and nothing is nothing is a fucking waste of time. And to do that in the service of the debt of these fucking racists is crazy. And I hope Howie, I know he's not going to see this, but I hope someone else reaches out to him. He has to understand what that looks like from the other side. You have to have some kernel of empathy in your brain that you can turn on and then just say, well, if I was black and I was listening to, or if I was a woman and I was listening to all the, like, if you can't fucking do, I mean, his comedy career was what it was. I mean, it peaked at fucking Bobby's World. So, I mean, there's that. But you can't just defend shit just for the sake of defending it, because right now you're sounding like a fucking racist, Howie Mandel. Sounding like a racist.
5 British pounds from Ricky Gervais has one gimmick: a thin-skinned, grumpy, middle-aged cis white man. I would say that sums it up pretty good for Ricky Gervais.
But he doesn't have the lexicon of like a Lewis Black.
That's
who can
true.
really explain why he's frustrated about something with 47 words all stacking together.
Like he's
and I think that like Lewis Black's comedy has it's got a political bent to it, but it's more like it's more of a timeless political bent. He hates Democrats and Republicans, like the way that like most people do. Yeah, exactly. And he hates the system. And his comedy is about hating the system. And he doesn't hate people in particular, except for like Trump or like Bill Clinton. Like he hates the politicians because they're idiots. But he never goes into race. He never goes into women or men or how they're different or stuff like that. It's always about like the absurdity of the system.
Right. Isn't this crazy? Look how crazy this thing I found is. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Y'all will not believe the shit we just found.
We just do a very long form of it.
Yes. If only we could shorten that in like 5 sentences, we'd be hilarious. Hilarious.
It's if you call him that, it's incredibly.
People call him that every day.
I know, and they are hating it.
Who is?
The people that are following that side.
Well, I'm just saying that the premise is faulty.
Well, let me tell you that, but let me finish the premise. The premise is whatever you believe is a racist move. If he lived, Ricky Gervais lived 100 years ago and bought 100 slaves.
Not helping yourself, Howie.
Howie, what the fuck, man?
Not helping yourself, Howie.
He's an aristocrat. He's not a racist. He would be applauded for owning a plant.
No, dumb shit. He'd still be a fucking racist. Are we fucking insane right now?
Yeah.
Have I dipped into fucking Insanesville? What the fuck is wrong with you? It was always wrong. What a fucking asshole. Fuck. Pardon my language.
Oh, there we go. Super chat.
From Darren. Thank you, Darren. 15 British pounds. Ricky Gervais used to be a half decent comedian, but then he got a new job at Netflix and gave up comedy, I'd say. I think when he sold The Office, a little piece of him died.
Yes.
And he never recovered because Steve Carell was over there getting way more laughs than him. He's like, fuck me. Fuck you, Howie Mandel.
Years ago and bought 100 slaves. He's an aristocrat. He's not a racist. He would be applauded for owning a plantation and being that, and because he doesn't live there.
Well, we're coming close to that again, so I still think the timing is off.
But the point is, right now, if somebody tried to buy 100 slaves and had African American people
give
working
it a
for
year, it's going to be Mexicans. Or it's going to be white people.
No, the Mexicans are being thrown out right now.
That's right.
See, that's why Mark Maron is so great, because comedians have a perspective, right? That's what separates them from everybody else, is that they look at the same situation that everybody sees. It's a dog drinking water out of a bowl, but they look at it and they see something slightly askew, and then they say that to us, and we laugh at the slightly askew thing that they noticed.
Yes, that is the basic premise of comedy.
So he saw what Howie just said and said, nah, it's actually, this is more interesting.
It's going to be Mexicans or it's going to be white people.
No, the Mexicans are being thrown out right
That's
now.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, until they create a new cast of people that'll fill those jobs. I mean, it doesn't. I don't want to get into politics.
Go ahead.
No, it's
I don't mind.
I
love your passion.
I understand what.
I love your passion. Fucking dismissive.
I love you. Yeah. Mark Maron also has a new comedy special out. It's on HBO Max, I think.
I'm gonna watch that shit.
You're saying, and I look, I think you can say whatever you want. I don't care. I have no, I've been filthy. I've said all the bad things on stage. I've been doing this a long time under the radar in a lot of ways. And I've tried everything. I've done things that were inappropriate on stage. I've said things that were inappropriate on stage, and my experience with people receiving those things and talking to people. And I've evolved the way I present comedy. I think when you talk about Jeselnik, he's just saying that, isn't there a creativity workaround that could be funny without creating this juice that just comes from using words that used to be kind of triggering and are less now because the dominant cultural force is now slightly fascistic and leaning towards alienating those voices. So now that we've crossed that hump into what we are now, aren't you just kicking someone when they're down and just being a hack?
I agree.
I mean, what? It's not funny. The people are actually in danger, and you're just like, like, that's not attractive to people. It's just mean.
He also makes a good point about like comedians who evolve versus comedians who don't.
Right.
Like, yeah, Mark Maron has said and done some stuff on stage that he's probably not too proud of now, but saying that he's evolved as a comedian to realize that those things were mistakes, rather than saying, I'm being canceled by the fucking woke liberals for my comedy because I said or did a thing that they fucking kicked off about, is completely different than like fucking Tony Hinchcliffe or some of these other guys who are like, oh, they don't like my comedy anymore because they're too woke. Like,
no one can take a joke anymore.
The whole reason that fucking Steven Crowder is not a famous comedian right now is because he's shitty at comedy and his jokes are racist and sexist and most people don't like them.
Well, you're just a little liberal. That's all. I'd be the next Kevin Hart if I wasn't so misunderstood.
Like, as a comedian, you either evolve with the times or you retire early. Those are your job prospects, because comedy does change over time. We have a different style of comedy now than we had post 9/11 or pre-pandemic. You know, like comedy changed because things happened and certain things weren't like good talking points anymore. Certain things weren't good comedy anymore because people experience things that changed their view of what's funny and what's not.
Nope, they're just woke.
Because there is no real progressive pushback anymore.
Hey, fuck you, Mark Maron. We can hear you.
Trey Crowder is hilarious, however. The liberal redneck, that guy is funny. Yeah.
So that side has won. They've won culture, and they've won the presidency, and now you have a lot of frightened people that believe in what was once democracy in terms of respecting all types of people. That's kind of gone. So do you continue along that track of like being the victim of some liberal conspiracy when it clearly is over? I don't know. So maybe I stand with Jeselnik.
Yeah, my understanding of what he was saying was less about politics and where we are.
This is funny. I see the locals in the Cotswold are venting their disgust at JD Vance spending his holiday there. One has a sign saying Vance's password is password. That is so funny. That is so funny.
Oh my God.
What a good sign.
Password is password.
As a culture and society.
But that's funny because you'd have to be the most bland, nothing person to make your password present. And that's why it's Friday. They didn't have to fucking bring up the couch fucking, which I would have thrown in there. Password couch. It's what my joke would have been. But hey, it's right there.
Right now, and more about the art of comedy. And to him, it's not comedy just to say something shocking.
That's right. It's a workaround.
Yeah.
You know, be more creative.
Yeah.
Don't be a hack.
But you also are giving comedy a lot more power than I think it has in our society.
I think.
Well, they're not that influential, the comedians. Really, Joe Rogan? Steven Crowder?
Yeah, Joe. Yeah.
Gutfeld, these failed right-wing comedians, they're not influential at all.
I mean, if you think about it, comedians are, late night hosts like Stephen Colbert and unfortunately Greg Gutfeld and Jon Stewart. Like and fucking Joe. Every comedian has a podcast now. You follow whoever you want, really. Yeah. And like it or not, like the Kill Tony show had a lot of effect on, you know, what people perceive as like modern YouTube comedy.
Right.
But comedians have always had a significant voice in the culture. I mean,
yeah.
Just for example, whether you watch it or not, the comedian has been invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner every year for God knows how many years, just to make fun, like to roast the president and the press. Like, comedians are, I wouldn't say important to the culture, but they are very influential in what people are thinking at the time.
I'm going to push back on that. I'm going to push back on that very slightly, only because we knew where Pryor stood on politics. We knew where Carlin stood on politics. We knew where Murphy stood on politics. Bernie Mac. all of the greats had political content, and they had content going after the social issue of the time. And I honestly believe that does help shape, because when you illustrate a wrong in a way with that comedic kind of like extra, this is a Dennis Miller quote, forgive me, but that extra ring out of the chamois, you can get that one last little bit of brain juice out of that premise and show that to people. It can have huge ramifications worldwide. Like, who knows if Zoran was fucking inspired by Mos Def on Dave Chappelle's thing, and that's why he wanted to rap.
No, you're right. You're right. And like
it can, we can, or I'm not a comedian. Tim's a comedian. The comedians can have a huge effect on the populace, on the society that they're in, especially if they're good at it.
And that's true. Yeah, no, I'll take that back. Comedians are important to the culture because they reflect the voice of what is going on at that day, in that time, in that time period. Like I said, like, for instance, I don't know if you ever seen the Blue Collar Comedy Tour back in the early 2000s, but it was like Ron White and fucking man, what's his name? The redneck guy. I forget his name
Trey
now.
Crowder?
No. Like, you know you're a redneck when, like, that's
Jeff Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy. Those guys.
Hall, Larry the Cable Guy, and Ron White. I think
Yeah,
that's
and Ron
the
White.
redneck comedy tour.
Like, they super popular in the early 2000s, and their version of comedy was not the conservative whatever the fuck is going on right now. Like, they did jokes about, I think Ron White did jokes about everyone's like a little gay. It just depends on what kind of porn you watch. And like,
Do you like watching porn when they got a little bitty pecker, or you like them have a big old wiener? Oh, big one. Gay. That was
and like Larry the Cable Guy is good friends, or was good friends, I don't know if he is now, with fucking Louis Black. And Jeff Foxworthy doesn't care about politics at all. He just wanted to do jokes about rednecks. Like, their comedy was comedy. Whether or not you like that kind of comedy is up to you, but like, they were reflecting a voice of their time,
right?
And how far maybe redneck or rural culture was at that point. And now you got these fucking hacks, like Mark Maron calls them, doing trans jokes and doing I identify as jokes, which are not funny, and they're all the same, and they're just dumb. And they're not jokes.
Is the job of the comedian to be the like live streamed satirist? I would argue, even if people don't want that, it is that, because I think like the comedian is the mirror shown back to the society. This is what you look like. These are the things I looked at in your society, and these things are hypocritical, or are stupid, or are hilariously wasteful. Like, that's the job of the comedian, is to look at what's wrong in the society and blow it up to 11 and do a funny voice with it.
Right.
And that's why we appreciate it. So the satirist needs to be there, I think, especially now.
Yeah. And especially like there are really good comedians coming up right now. Like Josh Johnson, who is his comedy is very long form. And Mikey doesn't like the way he speaks.
What do you mean I don't like how he speaks? I just think he should blow his nose before he does his comedy show.
But he did a week as host of The Daily Show and did their biggest numbers since Jon Stewart came back. Like, he is resonating with an audience.
Correct.
And
my audience, some would argue, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he's taking me and putting it up. Hey, it's not AI, so I mean, hey. Free country, just take all my shit, Josh. Damn, bro, my voice and everything. I was like, who the fuck?
But he is the person you're talking about, Mikey. He's taking whatever's going on at that day and time and reflecting it back to people with his perspective,
right?
And sort of says the absurdity of what's going on right now. And I think that that's something that conservative comedy is lacking. Is that like they're not really reflecting anything back to people about the absurdity of the system. They're just making cool jokes.
I got it. There is no self-reflection in their comedy.
There's none. None.
That's why it's not funny. There's no self-reflection. There's no deeper thought under it. It's just an insult.
There's maybe Donald Trump is an idiot.
Yeah, because if a bunch of right-wing comedians came out there like, look, man, I was all America first, and then $37 billion later, I am still driving a piece of shit truck. Like, I don't understand. I painted the motherfucker blue and white. I did everything y'all told me to do. Give me some money. Like, that's, you can do that. It's right there. I'm not getting shit from America first. That would be crush. It would crush. They'll never do it.
Yeah. And
they don't know anything about what's going on. They've only studied how to insult people. They never figured out that comedians are satirists. They read the newspaper. They read books. They do all this shit. These guys just party and fucking hang out with UFC fighters all day.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you can have like conservative comedians who can do jokes that aren't like culture war jokes. You can do jokes about like conservative principles or policy or satirizing what conservatives are doing, but they're so focused on making people cringe with culture war jokes and then like making people laugh at the fact that people are not laughing at them, that like 4D chess they're trying to play with comedy that isn't working.
I got another joke here. Hold on. Let me lay this on you. All right, so all the brown people are gone, and I just looking through my calendar here, and do we have a plan for Cinco de Mayo? Do we have a contingency? Because if we're doing shots of mayo, I am out. I am out the train. The Trump train can go to some other station. I'm going to Tijuana where the food is good. Like, it's there, guys. It's right there.
That might have been true a few years ago, but I don't think that's true anymore. Because with what you're doing now, what you're doing here, once old time show business, look, if you connect all the
no business like show
anti-elitism, anti-Hollywood talk to right-wing ideology and propaganda, what has happened now is that old time show business is anemic. It's dead.
Yes.
And so, what's happened is, and in a good way, entrepreneurial way, which is, sort of, your bag, is that, you can start your own show business and you can find your own audience.
Right.
And, that all, seemed pretty good. But if a lot of, and these are comics, if the audience that you build has decided they know what real comedy is, they know that woke people suck. They know that, whatever, scientists are liars. They know that, whatever the ideological foundation of that audience is, if you're a comic at the tip of that iceberg and you're championing that just by being funny and then, skirting the responsibility by saying like, yeah, I'm just a comic, my fans are my fans, then I think you're being disingenuous or stupid. I do think that comedy or certain comedians have a great deal of cultural weight now. You don't have,
when I was coming up, Mort Saul, who was a comic, was making political. What, you don't like Mort either?
No, I don't mind Mort, but I just think that there's no analog to the time we're living in now.
There you go. There, you have it.
You've inspired me.
Have I?
I have a related clip.
How? I literally removed it and you added it.
Oh my God. How did I do that?
I don't know. Oh no, Tim.
What?
Is this? Oh God, that guy. What's the dude on the left? What's his name? The dude on the left.
Oh, I forget his name.
They always call him something racist, so I don't even know what his actual fucking name is anymore.
Yeah, I'll try and keep that out of it, but this is more Mark Maron.
They are a fucking nightmare. Golly. No audio.
There is no audio on your clip.
Oh,
There is no audio
good, 'cause
on
we don't have to hear the
your-
commercial.
That kid was ripping.
I don't like it.
Come on, put him on. Who's that?
what?
Who's that?
Joe Rogan.
Joe, he's
Joseph Rogan?
Yeah, he's out of Texas.
Oh, Texas. Got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Got it.
Yeah. You love Austin, don't you?
He's running half the planet out of Texas.
Yeah.
He's got a tight hold on the enlightened meatheads.
Dude, Marin's disdain.
It's not disdain. It's reasonable criticism.
Reasonable criticism.
Yeah.
When was the last time you spoke with him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess it would have been at the store. I never talked to him in Austin. I don't go into the club. I don't really think I'm on his radar. So
Something tells me you are.
Oh yeah.
Something.
Yeah, something tells me you are.
I don't.
My man has the reddest beard I've ever
You
seen.
get lumped into a certain thing.
He's so
and maybe it's my assumption
So
that
ginger.
his army of healthy fellas.
Is that their title? Army of Healthy Fellas is so good.
You just got to, got to stay and keep the machine.
The machine's got to be good.
Yeah.
That's a shot at Bert. Go ahead.
What do you think the Austin shelf life is going to be?
Well, I don't know. I think that it's so effectively tribalized at this point. It really comes down to material. I mean, at what point?
I'll be right back.
What point? It's like whatever they represented in terms of policy. And it's not a stretch. It's like they won. Trans people are frightened. They have no ability to get health care anymore. And they're afraid of being alive and have no freedom left. So that's done. When do you stop with the jokes?
When do you
And like immigrants, okay, well, they're being ripped away from their homes, and they're all terrified, and okay, so that's done. When do you stop with the jokes?
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to pick on the vulnerable and the marginalized, but I mean, they're down.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're down.
why do you got to keep hitting them unless you're a hack? Now there's a question.
Mark.
He comes in swinging.
Yeah.
No, so I don't know the last time I talked to Joe. People for a while were like, why don't you go on Joe's show? And my answer to that is like, why?
Why? Right. Well,
it
doesn't service you.
Well, no, I don't need him. And also there's no way for me to what am I going to talk to him about? And there's no way for me to sort of not walk out of there and be like, all right, I guess I'll look at my phone. Oh, fuck. How long is this going to go on for?
Right. But it's like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
That is pretty good. Joe Rogan's show is so fucking long. It's almost as long as our shows, I think. But Joe Rogan, his shows are way too long, bro. I have problems keeping my attention for our shows sometimes because our shows can run 2.5 hours, bordering on 3. So if you ever see me start to yawn or my attention is a little bit fucking scattered, it's because my brain has turned to mush mid-show. I have also never seen an entire Joe Rogan episode. I've only seen clips. I don't know if I could fathom listening to or watching an entire episode of Joe Rogan for 3+ hours. Some of those are. I don't know how he does it, except maybe he's just high the entire time. I tend to like surrealist comics. Boyle has some good stuff. His timing and pacing is good. He can be a bit crass. I'll have to look him up. Hi there. Yeah, no, I'm not high when we do our shows for the most part. It's the middle of the day for me, so that's kind of rough. So if you ever see me yawning a lot, it's because my brain has just turned to absolute mush. It's focus time is over. We have to go and lay down for a while. Man, Mikey's been gone for a while. I guess I'm just gonna keep playing this clip.
Made me meeting at one point. Don't you think? Let's go historical with it.
Say it again.
Malcolm X and Martin Luther King meeting. They met at one point.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. And
pioneers of the civil rights movement.
Which one is Malcolm X and which one's Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King.
I don't really think
that's not Martin Luther.
The analogy doesn't work.
No.
He's
so bad at analogies. Let him keep going with this. It's going to get funnier as it goes on.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go with more analogies.
He's like, this is if Hitler's and Goebbels had to hang out off the work site.
Why one of those is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got half that analogy.
Okay, yeah.
Dude. See,
Why can't you just once support me? You know what I mean? With a analogy.
Shut up.
But that was just wrong. It brought race into it in a very profound way.
Yeah.
And I would.
Mine was angled and funny and distant. It went somewhere else.
Yeah, I think on one side of that, there's a guy that's aggressively fighting for the civil rights of victimized white people. God knows they've had it hard enough for a long enough time. But
has Joe asked you?
No.
Oh,
Here's a better angle.
Adam used to go like, "Hey, what?" And I'm like,
Right.
"No,
Yeah.
why?"
Well, because it's interesting being someone like us on the outside of it and watching you.
Oh, you
guys.
got 1 foot in, baby.
Well, yeah, it's up. It's right up your ass.
Yeah, that's the other.
All right, hold on. Is that a beard or is it Cheeto dust? I think it's a beard. He's just very ginger. I do not know this man. I have not seen this podcast, although I might actually watch it. But I think it's a beard. I know some gingers. Like, they have extremely red hair. This is kind of orangish.
And watching you.
Oh, you got 1 foot in, baby.
Well, yeah, it's up. It's right up your ass.
Yeah, that's the other foot.
I think what it is for me is I would love to see you guys chat, but I'd love to see you guys chat in neither of your arenas. It would be the only way it'd be legit. Because if you have to go to his show, not going to work.
Very good.
He has to go to your house, not going to work. You guys would have to do this thing.
It's like setting up a mob meeting
here.
No, seriously.
They should do it here.
Moderated.
You should do it here at Bad Friends.
They should do it.
It would piss both of them off so fucking much.
Yeah.
Look at the art behind them.
I know.
It would just be of us.
This would be good. Neutral ground.
But you do have to understand something. I have known Joe since he started.
Yeah.
I mean, literally since he first set foot on stage.
In Boston,
I was there.
Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember my initial issue.
Back when Joe Rogan had hair. Can you imagine hair? And he wasn't so jacked. He was just a mildly skinny guy with hair.
Where there was another guy, Kevin Flynn, who's out of the game. And he was like a soccer jock. And at that time, Joe was like a regional kickboxing champ.
I was right.
And
Mikey's back. Mikey, we were talking about they asked Mark Maron why he hasn't been on Joe Rogan's podcast. And he said that he doesn't need to. Like, what would they ever talk about? And then he said, it's too long.
Sounds like a cop out, but I'm with it. He doesn't want to go over there.
Apparently he lives in like the same area that Joe Rogan lives in. And
in Austin, yeah.
They know each other. They're both comedians. And they were asking him, like, would you ever just have a conversation with Joe Rogan on a podcast? And the premise was that they wouldn't do it on either one of their home turfs. Like, they wouldn't do it on Joe Rogan's show. They wouldn't do it at Mark Maron's house. They'd have to do it on a third, a neutral territory. Yeah. But Mikey,
comedians are territorial and they're superstitious, so I know.
We also have a very important question for you, Mikey.
Oh boy.
Is that beard red or Cheeto dust?
He has it. I mean, even on his arms, his arm hair is so orange. I don't know, man. He is an orange fellow.
He is an orange fellow.
Very. Very, very.
So what else you got for us, Mikey?
I have more. I did. Oh, yes.
Before I give up my powers.
I voted for Trump. Therefore, what do you know? We're out of time. There we go. Piece of garbage. Oh, is it attacking me? I'll just call you racist next time. Apparently, people have been getting it in. Over in the UK, they said, lock me up, bitch.
Most of these people know they're breaking the law. They're showing support for Palestine Action, an organization prescribed by the government under the Terrorism Act. Within minutes of the silent protest beginning, teams of officers were making arrests, not always easily.
I am about to be arrested, that's correct, yes.
Yo, England is so fucking hilarious, dude.
British people are so calm. Yes, I am about to be arrested. That's what,
Bro,
that
she's
is
in the
about to happen.
gutter. She's in the gutter with leaves next to her hair. And she's like, yes, I'm about to be arrested. I can't with y'all. I can't. I cannot.
Arrests, not always easily.
I am about to be arrested. That's correct. Yes.
Why are you happy to be arrested?
I'm a retired consultant surgeon. We are here to protest about the genocide that's occurring in Gaza.
You're carrying the placard of a prescribed terrorist organization.
That's correct, because there's no way this organization should be prescribed. It doesn't meet the legal criteria. There's going to be a successful legal challenge in the High Court.
The actions of hundreds of marker pens that have brought so many police.
Okay. So let's bring in the Americans here about what's going on. Have you heard this already, Tim?
I think I have.
Okay.
That is England one of the countries that's going to say that Palestine is a country?
In September, yes.
Yes.
But
yes.
this is mostly about, so the Palestine Action Group has hit their list of like what would be for us like national security watch list, right? They're like the Oath Keepers or whatever, or any of these paramilitary groups. What are they called? Militias. So they're kind of like, and I mean they've committed some crimes. There's been some property damage, some threatening, harassing, that kind of stuff. Okay. The Labor government has decided to put them on the prescribed list. So you are no longer allowed in the UK to publicly support that group because of their designation. How on anyone's brain they thought it was a good idea to nitpick this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
To say you can't have that group's name on your sign or I'm going to arrest you. At best, all you're doing is recruiting people.
Right.
Because now you're the bad guy and they're the good guy.
I don't know, man. Like I know that rights are slightly different over there in the UK. Like they don't have a First Amendment.
Yeah, they don't have our Constitution.
But even over here, man, like you can get arrested for just protesting. The police are particularly brutal depending on the protest.
They can't lock you up for what's written on your sign though. Like if you're not, if they shut down the whole area and they say all protesters need to leave, we're instituting a curfew and now everybody has to clear this area. That's one thing. That guy's okay. That guy's okay. Not her.
Right.
Her needs to get arrested.
Yeah. You can't get arrested in America for saying fuck the cops on a sign.
Right.
While the cops are right there. Like they can't just go and arrest you. They can understand that you hate the cops, but that's about it.
Fucking Denver, Colorado cops, and you're like in Texas. Just fuck you. But that's, I mean, and this is supposed to be a labor government, and I'm gonna keep my eye on the chat here so I can get some perspectives. That's why I want to have Darren on. We got to have Daily Blase.
Muttley says that police arrested several hundred protesters supporting Palestine action. Ali says in Scotland, no arrest by police at protests with same signs.
Good on you, Scotland.
Person impersonator says basically it's silly and performative policing to virtue signal to Israel that they're not anti-Semites.
Oh, let's go back to 2 months ago when we had our very breaking news. The $1 million question: are Palestinians also Semites? Answer yes. They're both Semites because they're cousins. They're cousins. They're the same. They're the same. So you can't say that one is not one and the other one is. They're both Semites. So you don't have to worry about being anti-Semitic if you're pro-Palestinian because of the same thing. They're both Semites. It's okay.
Chris C says you can and will UK under public order offenses if you swear at police officers.
Are you kidding me?
Swearing at police officers gets you. I mean, you could swear at police officers in America. They're not going to arrest you for swearing at them. You can say "fuck you" to a cop.
Oh, they'll give you a what's it called?
A citation.
Oh, no. What's the
disorderly conduct?
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, they will. Like, if you say "fuck you" to a cop, he's not going to arrest you, but he's going to be like, "Bro."
No, they will arrest you. Like shitty cops, not good cops, but shitty cops will arrest you. Like you cursed in public and people heard it, so now I'm going to arrest you for this offense.
So I understand my white privilege here. If I say "fuck you" to a cop, and if Mikey says "fuck you" to a cop, there will be very different outcomes.
Right.
Oh, look, the whole town is disordered because of his speech. We're going to have to lock up the profanity. No more profanity.
They're all shitty cops. Correct. But it's always hilarious to me when, especially, liberal labor departments or Democrats in the States fail to see obvious, like, it's a bait. They should have just left it alone.
Yeah.
And they took the bait. And now they have truly revealed that, I mean, I guess if the people had a Likud sign, they would have been okay, right? The ones who were actively calling for genocide, actively calling for ethnic cleansing, actively hunting down Palestinian journalists, like the one, the Al Jazeera team that just got martyred the other day, 2 days ago. Squad of 5 people and one extra photographer bombed the whole tent. Been reporting on it since day one. They haven't done anything to anybody. But, IDF says they're part of Hamas, a terrorist group, so now they have to die. No evidence, no due process, no nothing. Just, is this what we do now? I don't care why you have it written on your sign. I see the words, "I must arrest." Is that where we're at?
To Parliament Square today. Everybody here demonstrating has been writing on their placards the name of an organization.
What if I get it tattooed? What if I get it tattooed and I got my legs out? What's up? You can't make me put pants on.
That's
trousers, you little perverts. I heard you all giggle. I heard it over the fucking over the waves. That is heard.
Prescribed by the government
preverts
as a terrorist one, so that opens them up to being arrested, and it's something that most of them are willing to face.
I know that Palestine Action are carrying out important work. I think it's absolutely the case they should not be a terrorist organization.
Are you prepared to be arrested then?
I am assuming I am going to be arrested any minute now, yes.
Oh, are you? Really?
That's,
okay.
The police are getting closer and
so
closer.
You've got an overnight bag?
I've got my pajamas in my bag. I've got a book to read in the police station.
Pajamas.
Yo, the fact that she has an overnight bag for jail is crazy. Are they going to let her have that bag? Like, does she not understand jail, or is jail different over there?
Yeah,
you're not getting a knapsack.
Same way.
Yeah, because you're not getting like a, I don't know. I've never been arrested in either country, so. Because I don't get arrested. Because I don't get caught. Bitch.
And happy to do my small bit in the face of genocide.
Plenty of others.
Yeah, thank you. That'll be confiscated. Yeah, what the fuck is she talking? And I got some snacks and some dry granola bars. Like, I don't know, like what you thought. Bitch,
I brought some podcasts to listen to on my phone.
Bitch, you about to get naked. You about to squat and cough. What did you talk about? You finna get your pajamas. You have a jumpsuit, or they'll just put that. Probably not for jail, overnight jail. They'll just let you sit in your clothes. You should have. See, this is what if you know you're gonna get all right. Public service announcement. If you know for sure you're gonna get arrested, and you're still at your house, you need to put on 2 pairs of underwear. Trust me. Trust me. Because when you got to wash one in the sink, trust me. If you know, you know.
Willing to do their bit too. The Metropolitan Police say they're confident they've arrested everyone.
It says they searched the bag and she will be allowed to keep the clothing but nothing else. Yo, y'all are soft over there.
Yeah.
Y'all let motherfuckers bring a change of clothes with them? That's crazy.
At the protest with a placard expressing support for Palestine action, a fact disputed by the organisers Defend Our Juries, who say it was only a fraction. The classification of Palestine Action as a terrorist organisation was put in place after members of the group broke into the Royal Air Force Base in Brize Norton in June, causing, according to the government, £7 million worth of damage.
That's cap. Cleaning up paint does not cost millions of dollars. Chill out.
Nope, it does
Y'all
not.
lying. You don't have just repaint it. Hello. Paint over that motherfucker. Put some black paint over that.
Not about the lawful right to protest. There are many ways for people to protest, to say their views. And there's also a lot of people who feel rightly, very strongly about some of the appalling scenes we've seen happening in Gaza and the West.
So that's why you're going to go get Israel, right? You're going to stop them, right? You're going to stop sending weapons. You're going to stop sending jet parts. You're going to stop that, right? No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah. Mikey, of course they are.
That's the thing. Like, why don't you use 1% of the energy you're using to go after these people and stop the fucking, do your part to stop the genocide?
West Bank. Right. But this is about whether there's action.
Oh, please note, no one has been dismissed or even disciplined for allowing the protesters to get into the RAF base.
Against our national security in the UK, where we have to have proper safeguards in place.
God damn it, L. If you're going to hide something in you, make sure it's up there deep. Hands can only go up so far. Don't do that. Don't be looping shit so you can bring it in there. You'll be out soon. You can get high after.
The legitimacy of the ban is disputed by civil rights groups.
They're quite clear international definitions around what constitutes terrorism, and simply destroying property, causing damage, even hurting someone. These could very well be criminal acts and could very well need to be dealt with under criminal law, but they don't necessarily constitute terrorism.
No.
So where's all? Remember when Farage and his boys was running around trying to fucking set the fucking asylum apartment building on fire, the hotel that they were saying. They tried to set the motherfucker on fire.
Oh, yeah.
And then fucking push burning garbage cans underneath the fucking fire escapes. Remember that? What took y'all let that go on for ages and ages before you got in there and stopped them. And then the people counter protested, and then they just all got scared away. I mean, what the fuck? Y'all will let the races, just like in America, they let the Klan march up and down the street every fucking year on their anniversary for their little happy birthday to us parade, and they're allowed to do it, and they have a fucking police escort. You don't have to fucking like what everybody has to say. Motherfuckers, death to America. I don't care. You're allowed to talk, dude. And I don't have to fucking like everything that everybody else says. Make your own fucking signs, cops. God damn.
Nonetheless, those arrested today are subject to anti-terrorism laws and could face up to a maximum sentence of 14 years in prison.
Yeah, where are you going to put all these people? Fine, let's go ahead. We're all going to fill up this motherfucking prison. 14 years of police, please. How are you going to run your society with, let's say, 10% of people went out there? What are you going to do with 10% of your population that you now have to house, clothe, and feed, and make sure their health care is? Was that a good idea? Did you stop the message from getting out? Did it work? These racist ass regressive policies don't work on political speech. They're only meant to do one thing, which is to subjugate people. And if you try to subjugate an idea, okay, subjugate the idea. How are you going to function after that? Shit's already barely fucking running. Those are stellar boots, by the way. Fresh sole on there.
Putting more strain on an already overcrowded system.
Every time you process somebody, not only is that time and a cell space, but obviously there's a financial element to that as well, kitting people out for prison.
And putting pressure on the...
And this is, and mark my words, Starmer is your Biden.
Yeah.
This is your Laken Riley Act. Where Laken Riley Act, where a young lady was tragically killed by an undocumented person. And so now they're saying anybody even accused of a crime is subject to deportation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody. So they don't even have to give you due process now. That's why they did that. This is the kind of shit that they do to warm you up to that. And guess what's going to happen? Farage is going to win your next fucking shit, be prime minister, and you're in the same fucking boat as us. So do yourself a fucking favor. Labor needs to shut the fuck up. You need to let people talk. Even if the racists have a turn too and they start talking, or the transphobes, or the homophobia, it doesn't matter. Let them talk. Because when they start silencing normal and jailing average normies who aren't political wonks like us, this doesn't make you look good. This makes people go the other way. This makes people get sympathetic to reform. Oh, well, yeah, they were talking about those boys last summer, and here they are locking up people. Yeah, labor is just totally lost. You're gonna lose the war. Picking fights on 90-year-old women who are doctors. Like, what are you doing?
System to effect change is, of course, what all this is about. But at what cost? The Met Police say they...
I got to connect with them. I'll tell them.
They've spent over £50 million staffing pro-Palestine demonstrations in the months since the start of the Israel-Gaza war.
Because they use this fucking anti-Semitic trope to fucking go after what's it called? They use that for what was the other thing? Moskowitz was one of the co-authors on this bill, but it was like from the river to the sea was getting kids, having that on a sign was getting kids expelled and losing their diplomas over a fucking sign. This is not helping Jewish people. This is not helping Israel. This is not helping anybody. You're just targeting individuals for having an idea. That is not the way to do anything. I have to live in a world where, or especially in a country where I am outnumbered 6-1 by white people. 6-1. There are times where you can go into entire towns and not see another black person. I cannot get in power and say no one can have a sign that says white people or anything like that. It doesn't work. They need to be able to be racist, but I need to be able to shut them up or to clap back at them. I need to be able to respond. And if you take away people's ability to respond to shit that they're funding, even if they say it wrong, let them say it wrong. Jesus fuck.
And in the last few minutes, the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, has said the right to protest is one we protect fiercely, but insisted that was very different from displaying support for Palestine action, which she said was prescribed based...
Still the right to protest, guys.
That's the protest.
You can't be like, it's okay.
You can't tell me to say not to say something.
It's okay to protest, just not this thing. That's not.
Or you have to do it the way that I tell you to. That's not how this works. People are going to do whatever they want. And what are you going to do when you have 10,000 people in jail?
Yeah.
or first of all, you got to go through all those trials. And then once you're done with all those trials, now you have all these people in jail. And then you're going to lose the election. And Reform's going to be in control of the jails. What's going to happen to those people?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I got one for you, Mikey. Speaking of unbelievable,
you did it.
I did it correctly. Hold on. Oh wait, there's no sound.
Oh, damn it! Tim.
Almost.
So
There we go.
Just falls up the last step every time. I hate doing that shit. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh.
I was the one carrying shit.
We do not have unlimited money in the United States.
Unlimited money.
Unlimited. So remember how yesterday we talked about that Trump press conference and all the nonsense, and he's taken over DC through force. Well, this is an excerpt from the DC mayor at her press conference.
That the federal government can do.
Jim Kuzendera from the Boston Globe. Just to follow on his question, you at times in President Trump's first term were more confrontational with him, especially in 2020. You've tried
Super chat.
Okay, super chat $2. River to the sea is not an anti-Semitic trope. No, because you can find tons of fucking footage of Netanyahu saying it.
Yeah.
So if Netanyahu, the fucking prime minister of Israel, can say a phrase, then everyone can say a phrase.
That is true.
at times in President Trump's first term were more confrontational with him, especially in 2020. You've tried to be more cooperative this time. Any second thoughts about that approach? And are you planning any sort of defiance, symbolic or whatever, in light of this?
Why would I tell you?
Well, I would refer you to the law. Home Rule Charter, he referred to it. I would refer you to the executive order. And so everything that we have said maintains my authority given by the Home Rule Charter. Yep.
Josh Chapin, Channel 7. I just want to be clear also that this ramp up, this emergency we're talking about is a brief period. It's like a 30-day period. Am I right?
The charter gives him
it cut off, but yes, 30 days is what he gets. The DC mayor has no real power here. Unfortunately, DC
no power here, Gandalf the Grey.
Washington, D.C. is a very weird city.
Yes.
When it comes to who's in charge of what. It has a mayor, it has a city council, it has all the different parts of a functioning city government. However, Congress is in charge of their budget.
Which is weird.
And the president can have certain authorities over DC, like he pulled yesterday, where he can federalize their police force.
Do you think that there's a specific reason why it's still written that way and it hasn't kind of, kerneled off to make its own? Like, it should at least be a city, even if it's not like in any state's jurisdiction. Maybe it's under the jurisdiction of Congress or something like that. But they should, like, their own council should be able to take care of their own budget. Because what the fuck does Marjorie Taylor Greene have to do with the fucking DC budget? You know,
right?
What I mean? Like she should have 0% involved.
Well, this is the case for DC statehood.
Yeah,
making DC a state would give it its own sovereignty, and then the president wouldn't be in charge of their police force. Like he can't do this anywhere else. Anywhere else,
I have
can't
a compromise.
do it in what?
A lot of people, and this is I largely believe this. A lot of people are opposed to DC becoming a state just because we'd have 51 instead of 50 states, and it's an odd number.
Well, not only that, but DC is largely a minority city.
No, yeah, it can't be a Democrat.
Yeah, well, it would be. If you gave DC statehood, you'd have 2 senators, which would be Democrats, and 1 representative who would be a DC is like 70% voted with like Joe Biden, and 80% with like Barack Obama. Like DC is a guaranteed Democratic stronghold for a while now. Like they would be a blue state. It wouldn't even be a battleground state. They'd probably be more liberal than like Connecticut.
And also Puerto Rico.
So,
but I was going to say my compromise for the 51st state is DC doesn't get a star.
They don't get a star on the flag.
It has to share a star with Maryland and Virginia.
If
You don't get your own star.
ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it.
You can keep, you get to be a state. You even get a governor, but no star. No star on the flag. And then it'll be a trivia question like what U.S. State has no representation on the flag? And someone's like, Puerto Rico. Is like, no, stupid fuck. You're wrong, dumbass. It's fucking Washington, D.C. And
I mean, there's a couple of, and they mentioned it in the chat, and you mentioned it, like Puerto Rico. Statehood is so obvious.
Ooh, I like this. DC statehood, Hawaii independence. There we go.
Yeah.
But can we please still have our telescope up there?
Yeah.
Because the Keck Observatory is awesome.
Or K, as Kay put it, Puerto Rico should be fully independent and all reparations paid. They need to figure out what they're doing with Puerto Rico. Either make it a state or let it be its own country. Because this in-between area where they owe us all these debts, like that's the problem, is Puerto Rico owes a lot of debt, and we can come in and help them whenever there's a hurricane, but like Trump can choose not to. They're not a state. So they don't have the same rights as people who live in a state.
I say let them have statehood for like 50 years. Let them, get some of that benefits off of being connected to the federal pipeline of funds. Let them get established. Let them get, their infrastructure together on the American dime, because, hey, California, Chicago, New York, yeah, we can help. We got tax money for that. Jeff Bezos and all them, yeah, they pay. We get them nickel and dime them up here. We can get some of that tax money and shuffle it down there. Because I mean, like, we've abused them so much. Like, the reparations is cool or whatever, but if we give reparations, then they're gonna get the problem of contractors, permanent contractor fights and all this, and that breeds, in my opinion, to like corruption and insider deals and all that shit. No. Just send the workers to start fixing shit. Don't worry about, they don't. No, they're paid by the federal government. They go in there, they do work. Just fix it. Set their shit up the right way.
And like all this, like, these are like remnants of like American imperialism, when America was like eating up all these territories and picking and choosing what they want. And like some of these places, just either make them states or let them go.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, especially, like there's such in like the weird place legally in the country. Like their citizens can vote, but their votes don't mean anything except in primaries. They're American citizens, but they don't have like the full rights of American citizens,
which isn't right.
And we can loan them money, but like you can't do it like you loan states money. You gotta like actually, they have to pay it back and all that, and it's a drain on their economy.
No interest loans. Maybe he'll trade Alaska for Ukraine. I'm fully expecting Trump to not come back with Alaska.
That would be so weird.
Well, Vladimir said he wants some land, so I offered him Alaska. No one lives up there.
If he gave up Alaska, the Senate would be 50-50. Well, it would be 49-49 or whatever, but he would lose 2 Republican senators.
Alaska needs 2 senators. Come on. We gotta relook at this thing.
Yeah, senators should be rolled out by population.
Rhode Island, Alaska, and Texas all have 2 senators.
What? Let's see. What are the least populous states?
North Dakota, South Dakota, and Wyoming. Nebraska has a decent amount of people.
You got a couple in there. So Wyoming is the least populous state.
Oh, Idaho.
Oh, yeah. Then Vermont.
Vermont,
yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? Like area / people. I didn't
No,
think
this
of the
is like
total people.
So
Yeah.
Wyoming has just under 580,000 people in it.
Holy shit, that's less than my town.
Yeah. Vermont's
Two of my towns.
650,000 people.
That's nuts.
Alaska is number 3, 730,000 people.
And half of them are polar bears.
North Dakota, South Dakota round out the top 5, and they're both under 900,000 people. Like the entire populations of those 5 states are less than the population of Connecticut.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Connecticut's got about 7 million people that live here in this tiny little fucking state. And they have vast amounts of land, except for Vermont. They have vast amounts of land and nobody fucking lives there.
Vermont's got a decent chunk of land. It's not tiny. It's
all
bigger
mountains. It's all
that is literally
Vermont,
land stacked on top of itself. Like I don't know how that negates from what
no,
that's
Vermont
more
is
land.
tiny. Vermont's like the 40th smallest state, and Alaska is one of the largest states.
That's because of the polar bears. I'd already talked about.
Nobody fucking lives there.
Muttley says, I would love it if all the Central / North American countries formed a union similar to the EU, but exclude the US, then call themselves the American Union just to piss off Mac. Yo, bro, I want to live in the American Union.
Yeah, I don't want to be excluded. Listen,
Let me in.
You can have New England, Canada. You can have it.
Stop trying to get in, man. You're not coming. Me and Mark are going to Canada. We're going to be absolved. We're going to be South Canada. You are fucked, you goddamn Yankee Doodle motherfucker. You ain't getting out. You are stuck.
You can have the New England states. You can have Maine and New Hampshire and Vermont, Massachusetts. Everyone loves Massachusetts.
Everybody hates Boston.
Everybody does hate Boston.
They're a bunch of dickheads.
You don't have to take Rhode Island. You don't have to. Where's Rhode Island on this? Rhode Island is 7th.
Connecticut. Oh yeah.
They're 7th on the list. Delaware is 6th. Montana is 8th. Maine is 9th, and New Hampshire is 10th. So those 10 states don't need 2 senators. They don't. They all have populations of 1 million or less.
If you have less than we need to, when we make our new constitution, if you have less than 1 million people or 1 million or less, you get 1 senator.
Yeah, 1 senator.
That's all. That is plenty.
Yeah,
plenty.
And you know what? It wouldn't be all liberal states who get the extra senator. Florida would get an extra senator. Texas would get an extra senator. I'm sure like Georgia would get an extra senator. You know, California obviously would get an extra. Illinois would maybe get an extra senator, depending on how many people live there. New York would get it.
But that makes sense in a way because our states have so many people, and then the states are not small themselves in size either. So like, there's a big difference between North Cali, LA, and then like I don't know, San Francisco. Like there's a different, like those are different areas. And they should have different representation. It's a lot different than I don't know, like Champaign-Urbana, where U of I is. And NIU, which is up near the Wisconsin border, and Chicago. These are 3 totally different parts of the state. You guys will be part of our new country, which we will only refer to as the Delta.
The Delta.
And it'll be all of the Mississippi states, all of the states that touch the Mississippi River that are south of Missouri. Y'all will be the Delta states. Isn't that nice? States. But no, you're not allowed in. But please stay outside.
Oh.
All right.
That's a real shame.
So I found, let's see. I found something very interesting. It looks like the Wall Street Journal is borrowing ideas in a creatively unique fashion. And I just wanted to show you. Okay. This is their new show where they are talking to Gen Z white boys and they're asking them questions, and they're gonna raise their hand or lower their hand on whether they agree or not. So let's go to this part right here. I mean, we should watch the Epstein stuff too. Let's watch both. We'll watch the Epstein question and then the one about the economy, and then I'll let them go back to their normal lives.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
The Trump administration is being transparent with the Epstein files.
So they're supposed to raise their hand if they agree.
These future January Sixers.
Or former. All of them said no.
I think maybe that he's covering up something. Not necessarily that President Trump is in the Epstein files, because I feel like if he was, that would have came out a long time ago to, destroy his campaign.
I want him to be at least some semblance of honest, or at least lie better, because this is just a disgrace, in my opinion, in just every way.
We're going to make America affordable again. We're going to get those.
So the kids ain't buying it. It gets better. I'll just play
Prices
it.
down. We're going to get them down quickly.
I feel optimistic about my economic future.
This is terrifying. 5 out of 6 of these fucking dickheads do not understand money. They do not understand the economy, and they do not understand what they are in store for. They don't remember what it was like before all of this bullshit. Like, these kids are got stuck in school. Like, they're all born after 2000.
Right.
So, and they're probably, I mean, what's 2025? So they're probably 18. So 2007, 2008. So at the end of the housing bubble, they're just becoming alive, and they're not sentient until 10. So they have no idea. So they saw the end of Barack Obama, and then Trump come in, and that's all they fucking know of the earth.
Right.
You nailed it, Allie. Fucking facepalm.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to be, I mean, obviously the housing bubble is pretty terrible. I don't think any of us are going to.
Oh, you should have seen the one in 2008, Buckaroo, but you weren't alive yet.
Yeah, and then it crashed horribly.
Obama.
Own a house until it pops, but in terms of general, just like what the government has control of, I feel like we're heading in the right direction.
I think one thing that I always like to look at is when my parents bought this house that I've always lived in 2001, the average household income was $30,000 less than it is now. But if you look at the home cost, it was actually $250,000 less than it is.
So just make up the $220,000 gap.
Yeah.
What's the problem? It's just worth so much more. And you kids, you'll be able to pay it. Of course you will.
Now, obviously Moses was saying that, we got to wait for the house bubble to pop, but you look at that difference.
It's all owned by private equity. There ain't gonna be no pop.
Yeah. Well, there is because home values are too high and people are getting pushed out, and at some point those home values are going to crash.
Right.
However, these kids look at that as like just a cycle of the fucking economy, and we got to wait for the housing bubble. The housing bubble collapsing also means a recession.
Yes.
So I don't know if anyone, like, we lived through the 2009, 2010 recession.
We lived
no
through
one
like
is looking
4 recessions already.
Yeah. No one is looking forward to 15% unemployment. Like,
Right.
these kids are not going to have the jobs to buy houses when the fucking housing market crashes. So I don't know why they're so cavalier about it. Oh, we just got to wait for the housing bubble to pop, and then we can afford houses. Well, no, because you won't have a job.
And also, these homes are not owned by people.
Yeah.
This is the thing about like the last bubble. The last bubble was banks being greedy and not regulating things properly and putting people into homes that they would therefore not be able to afford. And then someone else would come in and buy the house after that.
Yeah.
These companies are borrowing money to own the houses. There's not going to be a house to buy. They're all going to be up for rent. There is no bubble bursting. The bubble is being turned into something else.
The private equity companies will also go under if they're borrowing against the houses that no one's going to be able to afford. Like, again,
you can't buy them. That's what I'm saying. You're not going to be able to buy them. You're only going to be able to rent them.
No one's going to be able to afford to rent them either.
Right, but they don't have to relinquish those properties. So
yeah, but those companies
they could always lower the rent. But they're never going to give you the land. You're never going to get the house. It doesn't belong to a person who can be swayed into selling the house. They never have to.
Those private equity companies are also going to go under. Like, they're not going to continue to fund things that aren't going to make them any money.
But they have the money.
But they won't.
Right. And then they can take an increasingly less off of from their point of view, but they can still take all of the money that you have as a consumer available to you. How much like for someone to get into an apartment that's $2,200, you should be earning 3 times that.
Right.
So if you're earning $6,000 a month, you're at $50,000 a year. These kids ain't gonna make $50,000. They're not going to have anywhere to live. So it's like, oh, now the bubble has burst and now we're going to be able to buy these homes. No, they'll lower it to whatever you can afford and you'll never get in.
Right.
That's the thing. The ladder has been pulled. And that's what I've been railing against with this private equity shit. The ladder is gone. They have already borrowed the money. They've already purchased all the single family homes. It's cooked. Like the fix has already started. And they think that this is a bubble that's going to pop. There is no bubble, darling. That is a transfer of wealth. You won't be able to own anymore. Period.
Well, I mean, eventually the private equity scheme will collapse in on itself, right? Because you're saying they're borrowing money. They're borrowing money to buy houses. When they can't afford to pay the mortgages on those houses anymore, they're going to collapse.
But I can use the money from all of the other, like they have so much liquid coming in
right.
every
But if
month.
it's a countrywide economic recession, they're not going to have the money to fund those operations anymore. Like, if they're buying houses now at the inflated home values that there exist and the mortgages at 7%,
right.
They're not going to be able to afford that shit. They're not going to be able to refinance it.
Tim, the house is bought already.
You're saying they're borrowing money to buy the houses.
Right. Which they are making back almost immediately.
But they're not going to be able to make that money back anymore if no one can afford to live in those houses. Even if they lower the rents, those houses are still expensive to buy.
Right. But they're okay. So the grift money that they're making off RIP, like let's do easy numbers. It's $100,000 house.
Uh-huh.
They buy it on auction or whatever it is for $50,000. So they got that $50,000 in equity towards it. They're immediately putting people into that rental space as if they were paying the mortgage. So every time they get a place, it's like they're paying what the full value would have. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's not like they're having people pay their mortgage for them. The people are paying 2 and 3 times what the mortgage is because they already own it. So then they don't have to be any sort of reasonable. You know what I mean? It doesn't take but a couple of different divested pockets of houses where this cycle can just go forever, where the grift from over here finances the financing over here. They're in every part of the machine at this point. That's what I'm saying. But these boys foolishly are under the impression that they're going to get a turn. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to get a turn.
Right.
They're not passing the ball back and forth. They've taken the ball and stabbed it.
Right.
And then they're holding the ball up with their hands saying, look, you're playing basketball now. This is all it's gone. They've taken it. I got another video after this.
It's hard to be optimistic looking at your future.
Do you guys feel that anything Trump is doing is helping you work towards that goal or hurting you?
I know you mentioned something during his campaign about like housing interests.
So interest rates is probably what he's talking. Trump is
interest rates. Yes, interest rates. Yes.
That's actually not done by Trump. That's the Federal Reserve, and that is based on a number of factors, including inflation.
Trump did appoint Jerome Powell to the position. I would say Trump's influence does impact a lot of departments, and that influence is what makes me hopeful that my economic future will be prosperous under his regime.
Like they've all drank the snake oil at this point.
Yeah.
Hi, baby.
President has some effect, and especially with specific things like the tariffs. But overall, the economy moves on its own. I don't think you can blame Trump or not blame Trump for anything that's happening yet.
Poor, stupid bastards. Poor, stupid bastards. All right, private equity.
I do think it's a bubble. And so I think we're going to see mass layoffs and premature deployment of AI to keep these companies alive. I think that there's going
Sorry for the horrible audio, but Breaking Point's had a really good interview with this lady.
To be a lot of unemployment to come.
Private equity has taken over nearly every corner of the economy. But is it also the next big bubble? My name is James Lee, and this is Beyond the Headlines on Breaking Points.
Oh, I should have got the timestamp.
That will sustain us better. We can actually extract value from the business by loading on.
She's explaining how private equity firms work. They see a company, they incur lots of debt, promising that it'll fix everything. It doesn't work. They sell the company, and then they make sure that they have a golden parachute for themselves, and then they go off to the next one.
So my wife has actually encountered this. Accounting has been invaded by private equity. The accounting firm that she works for is a private equity firm that is just gobbling up accounting firms until, like, I understand.
Until she works for Hulu.
until she works for Hulu. She has run into this problem where her company has told her that she cannot use her CPA license and like her email signature. She can't say that she's a CPA because they're not an accounting firm run by people with CPAs. Right. They are a private equity firm that is just buying accounting firms and then just mashing them together for maximum growth. And the private equity grift is getting maximum growth out of whatever you're buying up until it's unsustainable, and then you just let it die and take all the money. Right? That's essentially what the grift is. And
no matter the sector, no matter like the societal importance of the endeavor that's being done there, it's just didn't work. Time to sell it and move on to the next one.
Eventually, whatever it is will be so big that it'll collapse in on itself because it'll no longer function, because growth is not infinite.
Right.
You can't have growth forever. At some point, growth will stop. And that is the flaw of private equity, is that you can only there's a cap in growth no matter what the sector is, no matter what you're doing, there's a cap in growth. Right. You can own all the houses, but then you own all the houses. There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. But
we got
a super chat from Clip Ballum. 5 British pounds offshored interactive map of all foreign entities holding English wealth real estate V2. I'd play that game. Word. I want that on a shirt.
We could do that. Everything is grift. The problem is that like we're in like this like late stage capitalism here where People are just trying to get maximum money out of whatever it is. Everyone's so obsessed with growth and how to get more money.
Right.
Like that's all that matters in the stock market and crypto.
Oh boy.
Lots of debt by selling off real estate and other valuable assets and distributing it back.
And that's exactly what fucking the fucking shit administration, that's the first thing that they tried to do when they got in there, is they tried to sell the lots for all the properties that were government owned.
Mm-hmm.
So they tried to sell like 126 properties on like day one. Just trying to sell the land. Who's buying the land, you might ask? His friends.
To shareholders, they figured out how to circumvent the growth on capital from, instead of being patient and taking risks, to just extraction. And that's unsustainable.
So what's the situation right now with private equity? Because I'm reading that they are sitting on record levels of unsold assets. I believe Bain cited $3.6 trillion. But at the same time, we're also seeing record levels of what they call dry powder, meaning money that's yet to be invested. So why are we not seeing more exits? Like, what is going on? Is there something off with these valuations? Can you explain that situation? Because I think that's a thing that a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, so the bio-private equity model is predicated on a few factors. So you're buying a business and you're going to hold it for 5 to 7, 10 years. And so that means you're locked in, okay? Means that within that period of time, if something bad happens, you have to be able to weather that storm. And a lot of the way the leveraged buyout works is you're making those predictions before you enter the asset. So in order for private equity to be successful, you need low interest rates for that cheap debt. You need incoming capital willing to continue to invest, so viable exits, so the ability to sell that business, and a growing economy. So you need cheap debt, the ability to exit, and a growing economy. Now, anybody that bought a business,
they should stop letting them exit.
Well, the growing economy thing is going to be a real problem for them soon because it's not growing anymore.
Years ago, didn't account for COVID, or let's say even 5 years ago, didn't account for COVID. They didn't account for interest rate increases, the Trump economy, and what's going on with tariffs. And so that has created pressures on these portfolio companies. So they have variable interest rates. So that means that the amount of interest that they are paying goes up. And that means the company has less cash to deal with its problems. So really what this is doing is it's shrinking valuations. It's making these businesses worth less. And now when I said that they need to continue to be able to grow and exit these businesses, that's a foundation of this business model. Okay, so we know that there's enough dry powder out there. So dry powder is money that these private equity firms have already agreed to deploy. They are contractually obligated to go and spend this money and buy businesses. But it's aging, which means they're not finding the opportunities they want in the market. Okay, but on the flip side, we have more than enough companies for all of that dry powder. So if the buyers and sellers are there, but they can't make deals, the necessary conclusion there is a valuation distortion because you have enough businesses to be sold to enough money out there to buy it. And so, you know, people are saying the market's slow. Well, no, there's enough money out there and there are enough businesses, but they can't agree on a price. And so now we're seeing financial engineering and gymnastics to justify, in my opinion, these overvaluations. And so this lack of being able to make a deal in an industry where there has to be an exit. So what a lot of people don't appreciate in private equity funds is they have sunsets. They have deadlines as to when the money has to be returned. And if you've put an asset up for sale and you don't like the price that it is generating, you're screwed. Like your reputation, your ability to generate further funds, to do more funds and fundraise. If you take a massive loss on a fund, this is your reputation. You'll never be able to fundraise again. So these funds have an interest in not accepting defeat or taking, the loss, and perpetuating these increased or overvalued assets.
So is what you're talking about related to what I'm seeing in the news?
Thoughts so far? I'm trying to find my timestamp here.
I mean, she makes a lot of good points about how private equity works. And I think that the problem they're going to run, private equity is going to run into a problem that the economy is not growing anymore. That sectors of the economy are already seeing layoffs and reduced growth or stagnant growth. And inflation is still going up. There's a report about July inflation. Consumer prices went up 2.7%. So inflation has not gone down. And the tariffs are also going to cause problems. Like the money that people have is becoming less and less valuable.
Right.
And they're getting less of it. So eventually the economy can no longer function the way it's functioning because interest rates are so high, inflation is so high that people just are going to stop spending because they need to keep their money for the things they need to live.
Which are also, because those are also increasing in price.
Right. So private equity is going to get squeezed at some point.
Asset is sold. These new funds that are being targeted to regular investors are evergreen. Which
I think this is the big change. Private equity firms are now going to be able to get into people's 401ks and use that money to make money with.
means you can get your money out at specific redemption times or whenever you want. But there's no underlying liquidity. So where is the money coming from to pay people out? So in a specific instance that the Wall Street Journal reported, if you invested, James, at $1 and then you're ready to get your money out and it's now worth 10, the private equity firm will return your $10 to you, but they're going to take a $2 fee because, hey, I grew your money from $1 to $10, so I'm going to take my fee, which is called carry. Okay, and carry is typically about 20% of all earnings over a hurdle rate, which is typically 8%. So any return in excess of 8%, the private equity fund gets to keep 20% of that. Okay, so in this evergreen fund, you get paid out on this inflated NAV, this mark to model. Okay, and you, James, have got your money. You've walked away with your $8, and I've gotten mine too. And I've been able to market to new investors to say, look at these great returns. But we actually haven't sold anything. You want your money based on a valuation. And that new money comes in based on that valuation. So a new investor is going to put in $10. And that's largely the money that's going out to new investors or to old investors. Okay? And the private equity fund is taking a commission on unrealized gain. So what happens if these assets are overvalued and they tank? Well, the person who's just put their money in is going to lose everything. The person who's already gotten their money out is gone, goodbye. And the private equity fund, who is facilitating all of this, has already been paid on unrealized gains. So they've made a profit while their investors are losing. And I don't think that's right.
So what you're describing.
So that's the piece that gets me, because when you apply that to the housing market, they can just keep the house because the house is paid for. They paid for the house in cash, and then they rent out the thing, and then people are having a problem renting it. They still own the house. The house is still gaining value. So they still they're still going to be able to parachute out of this by eventually selling the house if they ever want to. So that, like I'm saying, it's set up so that these private equity firms, especially in the housing market, not only have they corrupted the market itself so that average sellers are being swindled into thinking that this is the new normal. Look at, oh my God, my house is worth $80,000 more than it was 5 years ago. This is great. Let's refinance. It's not based on anything. These people are refinancing and getting all this stuff. Like, this corruption of the market is unfixable.
Yeah.
Like the houses are not going to go back down to $100,000 a piece ever. They're just not. They're going to stay 350 plus because the people who are literally just here for the carry, just here to keep their squeeze of it, have ruined the whole market.
Well, from what she was describing and from what the common sense is, eventually these private equity firms will collapse under their own weight, and they'll have to sell off these houses to parachute themselves at least some money. They would have to sell the houses at the right time to get their value out of it. If they sell at the wrong time and the housing market does actually collapse, they're going to flood the market with all these houses once their companies are no longer viable. Like once the economy starts going sour on them, once people stop buying houses outside of them, and once the rents are no longer sustainable because people can't pay them anymore, they are going to have to unload all those assets. They own them outright, but they're not going to make any money if the houses are all empty. And even lowering the rents isn't going to make them money because they still have to pay taxes on those houses. They still have to, do all these other things.
So what I'm saying is they're going to have tax money for the next 15 years after 3 months of tenants. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're always going to be able to they're always going to have that little bit. You know what I mean? Because the taxes on this house versus I probably pay the taxes times 2 every month. And if this place has already been paid for, you know what I mean? And they already bought low, and then they put the rent, like they'll buy a place. We'll go with 100 again. So they'll buy a place for 100, but the rent will be as if you were paying the mortgage for a $200,000 house.
Okay, I think
that's what they have been doing for the last.
But that's where the disconnect is. The tax assessed value of a house is not the same as the amount that you paid for a house.
I'm just saying I'm just listing what would eat into the individual fund they might have for this property. Like,
right.
What would make them want to get rid of that asset if the taxes were too high and if it just wasn't worth it anymore? Well, I'm saying they already have enough money to pay the taxes on the place for damn near a decade already. They've already grifted to the point where they can just keep the property, keep it empty, and bitch, go buy your own house or go build your own house.
Well, I think the problem is that they also want to take the profits, right? They also want the money. They're not just going to let it sit forever. That whole unrealized gain thing.
But we're in a technocratic state where Peter Thiel and all them are using RealPage. I think that's a what's it called? What's his Palantir? I think that's a Palantir creation. RealPage, which is destroying the market on purpose now anyway. So when they have all of these homes that they own and no one else can have a house except for them unless you pay them exorbitant amounts of money, it doesn't matter anymore. And now that Trump's best friends are all corrupting all of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is the step.
But this is also, like someone mentioned it, I think it was Tripp that says, it's the same thing the banks did with mortgages during the housing collapse. This is all going to get too heavy for the private investment firms. They're going to incur too much debt at some point. Like I said, no one's going to buy houses. No one's going to rent houses because they're all too expensive and people can't afford it. And the problem they're going to have is that growth is going to be zero at some point. They're going to have to fucking bail on it like the banks did with mortgages. And there's going to be a whole big problem with they're going to have to be regulated. When the government realizes, not Trump's government, hopefully the next government, when they realize that this is all fucked everyone over again, just like in 2010, it's going to have to be regulated like we regulated things in 2010, where they're going to have these private investment firms are going to have a certain amount of liquidity so they can cover their fucking debts, because that's what happened with the banks. They couldn't cover their debts. Their balance sheets were insane.
Yeah.
And when someone actually looked at the Ponzi scheme that it was, they're like, oh, well, this was going to happen eventually. Like, it was an eventuality that the housing market was going to crash and that Bear Stearns was going to go out of business because their balance sheet was insane. And we have a couple of super chats. Oh, Tim Ballum, 5 British pounds. U.S. property value is what is last sold for until it goes to auction. That is true. U.S. property value is whatever people will pay for it.
Exactly.
Essentially, you need to watch some Louise Rossman's New York rants.
I did. I saw the Clippy thing. I'm not changing mine to Clippy though. It's a good video.
I'm not saying that it's not a problem now. It's a big problem now because private equity is eating up a lot of different things.
Right.
And they are going to ruin various sectors of the economy.
Because it have to be a financial guru to be in charge.
Yeah.
You don't have to be, you just have to be in charge of the group. Like you just have to have, I don't know, the biggest money or have everybody elect you to be the leader or whatever. There's no qualifications to ruin a company or to ruin markets. And I think these idiot AI real page using motherfuckers have truly spoiled this market in a way that I don't know is fixable, especially with the administration that we have now.
And by the way, landlords have been banding together to fix prices way before AI came along. There have been various methods for them to do that over the years. I remember before AI was a thing, there was an app that landlords could all sign on to figure out what's the highest price in the area for your thing. So everyone could have the same prices and they could raise the prices together. And that sort of monopoly on property needs to be stopped.
It's collusion.
It's collusion. They're colluding with each other to say we all want the same value for our properties to rent out.
And when I pressed my landlords on how they were making their assessment on the value of this property and what warranted an increase in rent, that's the market value. That's the market value. That is the canned response of somebody whose company uses fucking Real Page. And because it is unreal that everyone across the board within 2 to 3 months all hit the same peak prices. Everyone's shooting for $23.50. Like everyone's shooting for that amount, whether the property is worth it or not. And that's what I'm saying with these housing markets. When they're selling these houses, they're selling the house at the price as if you would have to pay the rent for 30 years. That $23.50 rent for 30 years. So that's what's elevated all of these prices. It's not like they bought like they're buying them at 100, and then with that formula, the house ends up magically being $350.
Right.
And then guess who buys the house? Them also.
Right.
So now it's like, oh, this house sold for this much, so this is going to bump it up a little bit and bump it up. So then you have an entire neighborhood of houses that are probably $250 that have all recently sold for $405.
Right.
The market is getting fucked by this, and they're doing it on purpose. There's houses we see sometimes the rent is $7,000 on Zillow.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's like a 2-bedroom and it's $7,000. They're manipulating the market on purpose.
There needs to be like a nationwide rent control.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Right.
You need to break up the landlords from being a monopoly. Like they can't fucking do this collusion shit. Number 2, they can only increase rent prices a certain percentage. And number 3, there needs to be a baseline for that kind of shit, because you get entire neighborhoods where people are just priced out. And that's what Zoran was talking about in New York City, where these landlords charge exorbitant prices for the worst places that they're not required to fix.
Right.
Like that's the whole other problem is you're being sold shit properties.
And that's why we said no to our last place.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. And this promise that, then you'll be able to sell it for that much later. That's a Ponzi scheme. If you're selling me something with very little value for a lot of money in hopes that I'll be able to sell it for its actual value later. No, that's a hustle. That's a lie and a scheme.
And
That's the current climate.
And even if you take out private equity for a second, the entire rest of the real estate economy in this country is run by people who do not know their jobs.
Correct.
And will just tell you whatever. Like the real estate lobby is the most powerful lobby in the country. The real estate association is the most powerful lobby, and it shows because there is no regulation on how you buy or sell a house at all. The underwriters for these mortgage companies do whatever the fuck they want. It's crazy. There is zero transparency in the system. You get told you're going to pay this price at this percentage, and we don't know how we got here, but that's how we got here.
No improvements to the place that you're living in. No new carpet, no fresh coat of paint, no new washer and dryer, dishwasher. None of that stuff has been changed, but your rent is now $500 more.
Right.
Because we said so.
Yeah, because that's it is. Do you want to sign the lease or not? By the way, you need first month, last month, and a security deposit.
Right. And that's the point, is to get people trapped. So either you're going to stay here and I'm going to extract every extra dollar that you have, or I'm going to put you out, grab somebody who had a slightly better place, but now they're kicked down to this place. Like, this is regressive and wholly unsustainable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep, I know I'm annoying, and I know this was a longer one, but I am going to keep banging this drum. And again, another way that fucking AI is ruining this goddamn planet.
AI is just the better mousetrap for landlords, though. Like, they've always had a mousetrap for people. Is this the last video? Because
this is the last video.
Okay.
Maybe.
It should be. I can't hear it. You pulled me.
You muted me.
I didn't mute you at all.
Neighbors say they are lucky that they are still in one piece. That's after the arrest of a man who was living among them, accused of having the makings of explosives in his North Bexar County home. Sheriff's investigators say it seems that he also had plans to use them on certain groups. Katrina Weber.
Probably terrorists.
Yeah.
Probably armed assassins.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what.
Shows us how it was all exposed.
Bro thought he was on Call of Duty.
With nature
that deer's got horns. Get the grenades.
always outside their doors, people describe.
Oh, antlers, not horns. Very different. Very different in biology. Very different.
Life in Timberwood Park as peaceful.
I can go borrow salt and sugar from anybody. We trade plants with our neighbors.
But one neighbor, 39-year-old Nathan Henderson, is accused of planning a war aimed at Black and Jewish people.
What? What do we do?
What?
I don't even know.
Why is it always Black and Jewish people?
Damn you, Sammy Davis Jr.
Bexar County Sheriff's
Lenny Kravitz is driving me crazy.
Investigators say the self-described Nazi.
Self-described.
Alistair Curb, thank you so much for the 5 gifted Bin Podcast Network gift memberships. So congratulations to. All right.
We got congratulations to Landon, Tokyo Joe, Apostate Sisters, My Unfinished Journey, and My Unfinished Sock.
Thank you so much. And welcome to the Binsiders. The global Bintifada, I said it.
Had the makings of explosives inside his Oracle Drive home.
It's worrisome because this is a multiracial. Even this block itself is multiracial.
Mario.
All the Mexicans on the block was like, oh boy.
Ramirez says he drove up during a raid 3 weeks ago. Deputies and a bomb squad outside Henderson's home. Investigators say they found more than 20 deactivated grenades there, along with materials to turn.
Who is selling people deactivated grenades?
military surplus store.
Don't sell it to him. What are y'all thinking? Oh, he'll probably just make like an ashtray out of it, or he'll reactivate the motherfucker. Like, what are you doing?
Turn them into explosives such as blasting caps, black powder, and a detonator. They say they also found letters he wrote.
Hold on, what? Hold on, what? Hold on, what?
What?
This dude, what?
Who rules America? A research report.
Oh my God.
You already know that the news and entertainment media are biased. Now find out why they're biased. Who wrote this? The Heritage Foundation?
Oh, National Vanguard Books. Dig them up. See who they're.
National Vanguard. All right.
Wrote to other white supremacists. Regardless of who his intended targets were, neighbors say they feel like they all were in the crosshairs. They say what was happening in that house put them all in danger. While the news surprised them, detectives found out from someone close to Henderson. They say that witness told them Henderson spoke
of wrong button.
Of killing certain ethnic groups and that he admired New York murder suspect Luigi Mangione.
Don't be trying to bring Luigi down with your little white nationalist racist bullshit. All right.
I'm going to get flagged for this one. Jesus Christ.
Yes, you are. That's why I tricked you into doing it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
That is a white supremacist website if I've ever seen one.
William Price.
Pierce.
Oh, no.
Oh,
this is not good.
Uh-oh. What does that say? Epstein and Jewish Power Redux? Is that what that said?
Yeah.
Part 2. Oh, no.
That's a part 3. Oh, God.
These are literal crazies. We found the crazies, y'all.
Oh, I've heard of building the new white world. Jesus Christ.
Oh my! So he had one of their things in there. Is that what he was reading?
I don't think that's
he
what
had one of their little pamphlets, right?
Yeah, he had a report. They have a bunch of articles down here. That's probably what it is.
We should probably not put that on screen, huh?
No,
we won't put that on screen. We don't know. We don't know what they're. We don't know what they're actually. But
that's
confirmed. Confirmed.
Say he also promised to kill himself instead of ending up where he is now, in jail. Katrina.
Bruh, just do that. Just do that. You got
Russell asks, is this the dark web? No, it's the white web.
Well, no, we don't tolerate darkers. If his ultimate goal was he was gonna eat a bullet and that was gonna be the end of it, you could have just saved everybody the trouble and just did that shit in the first place. Did that in your basement. Maybe put yourself in a pine box, dig a fucking hole 6 feet deep, and just fucking bury yourself. Do what you got to do, and we'll just throw dirt on you, and you can go on living out the rest of your whatever. And it's fine. It's fine.
Jeez.
The blacks and the Jews. We don't even know you. Stop assuming you're on our radar. Okay, you're not. We're not that into you. We just
Mike, yeah, I have a brief, not breaking news, but continuing on the Trump fucking takeover of DC. One of the things you want to do is get rid of all the homeless people. And his press secretary was asked about this during her press conference today, and she said jail is a possibility for homeless people in DC.
It always has been.
Guess what the District of Columbia lacks?
Public toilets.
A jail system. There are no jails in DC.
That's okay. We'll put up tents. We'll
just
put up a tent city and they can go in that jail.
So once again, the press secretary not knowing that there are no jails in DC at all. There's no jail system in that area. And
you don't know that.
She doesn't know that.
She doesn't.
So their plan is to put all the homeless people in jail, just like we said, Mikey. Just like we said, their plan is to put all the homeless in jail. Our prison populations go through the fucking roof, and the private prisons are going to make bank.
Yes. If only private. Oh.
Trip says, where do they put all the criminals? Usually in DC, they go to, because the District of Columbia is not part of any state. There's no federal judicial court thing going on. Like there's a DC circuit, but they handle a lot of things, and criminals go to jails outside of the city, either in Virginia or Maryland, because those are the two states that neighbor the District of Columbia.
I'm doing something important.
All right.
Okay, I did it. Maybe.
All right, do it.
I did it. It's done.
What'd you do? What happened?
I got the redirect going. So you guys can go check out Geoscope as soon as we're finished. Right, Schmear.
Oh. Okay.
It's in a very awkward spot, but I did find it.
Like and subscribe.
Last one.
2 British pounds. Tim Ballum. Criminals in DC go to work in the White House. Oh, that's where they put them. That's where they put them. That's funny. So like and subscribe on the YouTube. Become a member, just like so many have. And patreon.com/The Bin Podcast. I'm going to blank your blank. Yeah. Become a patron so I can blank your blank. I'll tell you this clearly to your brain. If you fuck with my Medicaid, I'll do something. I think you need to separate those two sentences. I'll tell you this clearly to your brain is a good one. And then the other one is also good on its own. If you take away my fucking Medicaid.
I love it.
Oh my God. Also, if you're watching on Twitch, like and follow and subscribe and do all the things. Give us your Bezos bucks. We like them.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
All right, everybody, get out there, make a new friend, and drink your meek.
Your meek.
Bye.